Live from beautiful downtown Bastrop, it's time for the Stage Select, starring Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
What could this possibly be? Seems a lot like a podcast. Wonder what specifically. Talking about video games. With your hosts, you're in good hands. Not more of the same. Now we'll jump right in. So expect the unexpected and more. Now we'll get grooving. There ain't always gonna walk through the door. There just might be some strategy in this. Just having fun with our special guest. Time for Stage Select.
And here are your hosts, Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
Welcome, one and all, to the Stage Select. I'm Julian Titus.
And I'm Justin Ham. Hi. Julian, I don't know how much experience you have with, just people. But yeah, I know, right? I don't understand people who text like a lot. Like a lot. Like, I mean, I like texting. It's great. It's what a way to live, right? You just like, hey, this would have been like a fucking 2-minute phone call back in the day. Now I just write it out in whatever amount of time and we're done, right? Great. Amazing invention. But like when people just nonstop do it, right? And it's just constant. So I've invented a game to help get myself through it. And it's called just like commentate, what I think they're texting. You'd be surprised to learn that it's a lot of talk about coconuts. Just a lot about coconuts, People are just having, regular coconut offs just all the time. A lot of oh, I just got a batch of coconuts, send text. Your coconuts aren't as good as my coconuts, send text. Well, I don't know. I've never been a big coconut fan in the first place, send text. But if I was a big fan of coconuts, I would, eat them all the time, send text. I don't know. Coconuts to me taste like you're eating confetti, send text. I think you're thinking of the chocolate-coated coconut, send text. It's just a lot of this back and forth, just all day, just for hours and hours. It's crazy what people are doing when they're text messaging,
I'm confused.
What?
Is the content of the actual text about the coconuts, or are you imagining?
It's me guessing what they're texting. Because I can't imagine two people just doing this for an extended period of time. At that point, you should have a phone call.
So you're witnessing someone texting with someone else?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's nonstop, right?
All right. I thought you were playing a game of as you see the little dots in your text conversation.
No, not with me. No.
Okay.
No, because I don't do that. Because I'm a pretty short and sweet texter for the most part. At least I think
you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like that for the most part with everybody. It's just how I live my life. Because I don't see like I said, if you have more to say than that, then that's a phone call or something. Like, then you just call them. And then it's like, okay, well, I hate phone calls, and you can send your paragraph and your rant. That's fine. God bless you. We all get into that stuff every now and then. But still, this is maybe, at max 15 minutes of your life, not, hours.
Right.
Because at what point does it end? Like, at what point is it like, I don't know, there's just not enough coconuts in the world to stop me from wanting all the deaf children in the world to be dead, send text. And it's like, wow, this really escalated into, I don't know how we got here, but wow, your thoughts on deaf children are, really problematic, send text. Yeah, well, if they were less problematic, if they wanted to live, they would start hearing again, send text. It's like, wow, I don't know. This is what I do. This is what I do with people. And then I just judge them for their views on Coconut's terrible, by the way. It really does taste like you're just eating like nature's confetti. Like somebody just stuffed confetti in a shell, and it's like, yeah, just eat this shit. And it's like, what the hell?
I used to despise coconut, but as I've gotten older, I like it in like a macaroon.
Well, you know, to each their own, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's
Still not a fan of like a coconut cream pie.
right. It's just weird
stuff.
It's just weird. It's just a weird texture, you know. Then I had to ask my sister today because she was texting me about something, and I was like, well, you're here. I'll ask the question. I was like, is cocoa butter derived? Does that come from coconuts or from chocolate? Turns out it's chocolate. It is derived from that. Because I didn't know how to spell it. I didn't feel like Googling how to spell cocoa butter.
I thought it came from coconuts also.
Yeah, no, it's not coconuts. I could have gone either way. You know, they're both cocoa, and maybe people go nuts for it. I don't know. Not a big cocoa butter fan.
It's actually the sweat that comes off of Ice-T's wife's back. That's the cocoa butter.
Okay. I feel like there's a joke that I'm missing here, but that's fine. You know what? Who needs
Ice-T's wife is named Coco.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you knew that.
Excuse me, Mr. Titus and Mr. Ham.
Oh, hi, Morgan. How are you?
Oh. Hey, Morgan. It's been a bit. You doing okay? Not quite, sirs. There's a bit of a problem.
Okay.
We have a line in front of the studio of various adventurers waiting to fight Bing Bing in the bathroom, and I don't know what to do about it.
Oh, the endless pit didn't, dissuade them from coming over here? Because, it dissuades a lot of people.
Oh, are you the one that put that in?
No, it just appeared one day. What are you going to do?
Oh, Bing Bing must have put that in.
It's possible. It's very possible. Yeah.
Oh, well, no, they're still just lined up out the door, sir, and I really don't know what to do about it.
No,
I mean, Bing Bing knows they're coming, so it's fine.
Probably good.
Just kind of, just point them in the right direction. Try to keep them, out of the way of the show, especially like when we're live. But otherwise, it's not a problem.
Right.
Oh, very well, sirs. I'll do my best, but I do have other duties around the studio, so one or two might get past me. So just be aware that you might come across stray adventurers.
Yeah,
they're probably here for Bing Bing.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
That'll be fun.
I'm honestly surprised it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, so, really, yeah.
Good job, actually. Kind of keeping us from that. Oh, yes, I try to do my best.
We'll try to buy some velvet ropes to make your job easier. We'll just velvet rope them into there.
Oh, that sounds heavenly.
I was going to make a Janet Jackson joke, but now it seems inappropriate.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's fine. Just, kick him over to the corner. Brahma will get him.
Yeah, he'll be okay.
Yeah. I do have a couple quick announcements before we hop into whatever we're going to do tonight. We don't got much, guys.
Yeah, the pickings are slim here.
Yeah. We'll get there. But
yeah.
I was on a recent episode of Games My Mom Found, as I had said last week, but now the episode is out. I'll have the link in the show notes, but it is for the Street Fighter Alpha series. So it was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was fun going back through like all three games and like noting the differences and
that's cool. Yeah.
Realizing, and I kind of knew this, but like even though I keep saying that Street Fighter Alpha 3 is possibly my favorite Street Fighter game, I always have to remind myself that it's the PlayStation version because that's the one that added all the characters that I loved playing.
Yep. Very different.
So that was interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on there again soon, but the episode we haven't recorded the episode yet, but I'm going to be on for the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Oh boy.
So that'll be fun. I anticipate I'll be like the one person be like, no, it's cool. I like this game.
Who knows? Yeah. It's hard to say. You never know.
We will see.
And I was also on the Comic Conspiracy episode 635, which will also be in the show notes.
Cool.
I saw that host Ryan Higgins came out of Thunderbolts, and he was like, my God, that was such a waste of time. And I was like, oh, I totally disagree. Like, let me know if you need somebody on, next time, or when you guys talk about it. And he was like, hey, what are you doing tonight? And I was like, nothing.
Yeah.
So hopped on and
Cool.
we talked about Thunderbolts, and I actually went to go see it again later in the week.
Okay.
Because I had to go into the office one day, and I was like, I don't want to fuck with traffic. And I actually liked it better the second time.
Oh,
so if you go listen to me on the Comic Conspiracy, just know that my thoughts have actually improved and solidified
Oh, wow.
there
you go.
since that episode.
There you go.
And then the other thing for patrons is that the second episode of Cinemorons is available for executive producers, where we talked about Perfect Blue.
Yeah.
I really loved that conversation. I really loved talking about that movie.
It was fun.
Yeah. Haven't had any feedback from it yet, but I think part of it is because like it kind of dropped like right as the episode dropped.
Oh,
The main episode dropped, but also people have expressed that like these first two movies, a lot of people have been like, I haven't seen that movie. I had this on my list anyway, but I went ahead and picked it earlier than I originally intended to, simply to get like something a little bit more common into the
Sure,
show.
yeah.
So next month we will be talking about John Wick.
There you go.
So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with Justin
Oh, yeah.
and seeing what he thinks. There's also like a documentary that's releasing like, actually I think it came out today as we're recording this. So I'm going to check that out like probably before I watch the actual movie for the umpteenth time, just to like see if I, kind of see like, oh yeah, I see what they were talking about here, that type of thing. Cause I've already, at first I was like, I'll watch it after I watch John Wick, but I was like, I've seen it like 12 times. I don't, it's fine. I already know the movie pretty well. Other than that, Justin, hear me out.
Okay.
I've been thinking a lot this week about growing the show and really like reaching a wider audience and kind of blowing up online. And I think I've got it.
Oh boy.
The name of the game these days is wake up routines.
Okay.
And like, day routines.
Okay.
I looked into it. We're going to fly to LA.
Okay.
And then we're going to like do an Airbnb at like a filthy rich looking mansion. And then we're gonna rent like a couple like crazy sports cars. It's actually surprisingly like affordable when you think about it.
All right. Yeah, sure.
And then we're gonna film. We'll do them all at the same time. So like we can make like about like 30 of these, but like we'll only have to shoot once basically, and then we just like cut it up and re-edit it and shit.
Okay.
So we'll pretend that we wake up at like 4 a.m. and then take an ice bath like face first.
Okay.
And then have a woman off screen hand us breakfast, and then pretend to work out for a really long time. But it's like we'll make it look like we worked out for a really long time, but it's really like, we'll just do like one or two things. It's fine.
This is moving into Reddit / oddly specific territory. Where is this where's this going?
It's going to the stratosphere, Justin, is where it's
okay,
going.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Once we get these all like edited and cut together and put with like the right music and turned into like TikToks and stuff like that, we're just going to see so much growth in the numbers. And then Justin, we sell the course about how we do all the stuff. And that's where the money comes in.
Okay. All right.
And then of course, we and then we send them back to the podcast, right? Of course. So,
sure.
And then also changes to the podcast. I want to make sure that we're always holding our microphone in our hand and have like zero mic control.
Well, yeah, no, that's a good idea, really. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we need to stop using headphones so that we have no idea how our audio is.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why we've been doing that for so long, anyway.
Yeah, it's a mystery to everybody.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be it. I think this is the path.
Well, if you say so. Before we continue, Julian, actually, you might have to edit this part out. Does my audio come up on your end on the Zencaster call?
It does, yeah.
Okay, all right. Like the waveforms do, because it's like blank on mine, and I was just worried about it. So we're good.
Oh,
okay.
Weird. Yeah, no, because mine, I'm seeing both.
Like I see yours just fine, but like mine just is like a big nothing, and I'm like, okay, I better ask about that. But okay, so we're good. Okay,
and you're coming up on your Audacity.
Oh yeah,
right?
no, everything's fine on that end.
Okay.
That's why I was like, this is really weird. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
All right, I just wanted to check.
No, I'm actually going to leave that in because that reminds me that like, you know how I hit the little button last week?
Yes.
It doesn't show up on the Audacity version, which is what I used to edit. And I was like, oh, because I was all set to like come in here and have like a bunch of stuff all ready to go.
Yeah.
But I'm not using the Zencaster audio. It's like our backup.
Yeah.
And also I decided to, because, you know, one of the things I was really looking forward to with, you know, this paid plan is, like you can do this like text-based editing and you can just like get rid of crutch words in one go. And I was like, that's cool. But even on, and so I messed with it like after the episode went live because I didn't have time over the weekend.
Yeah.
But even though you're like, I'm on a paid plan, although I'm on the free trial right now, but I put my payment information, so they've got it. Mm-hmm. They only give you like 15 credits of editing like every month. And last week's episode was short for us. It was like a little over 2 hours.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
And that was going to be like 9 credits.
Wow.
And it's like, okay, so this is not, I can basically do like one episode a month.
It's like, yeah, it's like buying the paid, the $60 version or $70 version of the game, but also you can't really do anything unless you pay for some more stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
An episode like last week's, which was, again, a little over 2 hours, would cost about $25 to edit.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's about half of what we average.
Yeah.
So, on weeks when we've been playing like a lot of stuff or we have a guest or something like that, like we can easily hit 4 hours.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So that's unfortunately not.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. It might be a thing where it's like, oh, I really don't have time and this episode was kind of chaotic. Let me just go ahead and hit the button, but probably not.
Probably not. No.
So I was looking forward to maybe like reclaiming some of my weekends, but I don't.
I doubt it.
I don't value my time that much.
I don't blame you. Who does, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't have much other outside of that.
I don't either. It's funny. The longer that I play Expedition 33, the more problems I have with it.
Okay.
But the more I'm compelled to keep playing it. It's very strange.
That is weird.
I did bite the bullet and knock it down to story difficulty.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like it didn't really like the only thing that it noticeably changed for me is that the damage is like reduced to a level that makes it not even a thing anymore, which is like a different problem.
Yeah.
So I'm still not reacting to a lot of shit.
Yeah. But who cares?
Yeah. And so it just makes the battles kind of like interminably long sometimes. Right. I wish that you could do like, you could choose from all 3 difficulty settings for different things. So for like damage value, I wish that you could pick between story, normal, and expert. And then for like parry and dodge window, same thing. Right. And then like monster AI.
I really wish they had a way to kind of open that up, the parry and dodge window. Like I'm fine with it, but like I can definitely see how other people would have a real issue with that, because it's like, despite what they tell you, it's very important that you be able to do that shit.
Yeah. So I will say I did notice like a slight difference in the window timing. Like, but the thing is that like, I think it was Pat who was saying that like, if you're getting perfects on your dodges, that means that you're actually hitting it when you should parry.
Yeah.
And I had been perfect dodging a lot of stuff on normal. So on story mode, I've actually been parrying quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah.
But there's still places where it's just like, that animation does like where you're telling me that I should press the button is not lining up with this animation.
They really go hard on the like, this animation's really weird and you're gonna just have to get hit by it and figure it out. Like, at least like that's always kind of how it seems anyway. And a lot of times that's how it is. Like, I'll get fucking owned in one battle and then the next one I'll just be like, okay, now I see what we're doing here. Okay. And then I figure it out. But yeah, it's rough going, but yeah. I haven't played too much more of it. I got like a little bit further, and then like I don't know. I feel like I'm having a rough time with video games this year. I'm really trying, but like, yeah, I don't hate the game at all, but like also like you know what it feels like to me? It feels like what I kept doing with like Elden Ring, where I would just put it down for a long period of time or like a couple days and then pick it back up again. Because like I like the game, but it stresses me the fuck out sometimes. Because of the timing stuff like that. It's not like I just sit down and, you know, just relax and play this game. It's like, no, I gotta be fucking on it. Like I gotta sit here and be, you know, in it and fucking. That kind of goes, you know, a little bit of both ways, I guess. Elden Ring, I found my stride in, and you know, could kind of found a way to cheese certain things, and that was fun. That's where I found the fun, like later on, and I could probably find it here too, but like I haven't gotten that far, so. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, once I set it down to the easy difficulty, I was like, man, and I meant to say this last week, and I feel it's stronger now, is that you can have like the super tight parry dodge window,
yeah,
or you can have the crazy damage. You can't have both at the same time, and that's what my problem with the normal difficulty setting is.
Yeah.
Is that for me, it's a very tight window that is hard for me to hit.
Yeah.
And also, if I fuck up, like my characters are like on death's door already, right?
You get owned pretty quick.
And so now, again, like if I could pick the parry or the parry window timing from the easy mode, but keep the damage from normal mode, that's the sweet spot for me, because I'm hitting more of the stuff that I'm missing now. But then if I fuck up, like, I want to feel like, oh shit, like I fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, like they got hit for like 25 hit points and my characters have like, you know, around 2,000 hit points now. So like I could do this all day.
Yeah, right.
And like it wouldn't be
no
like
big deal.
I literally have one of the characters, his build right now is like, yeah, his opening move is that he like does a move that takes him down to like 10% health.
Oh, okay.
Like in the first turn. But usually that's enough, like in a battle with like multiple enemies where most of them are already dead. And then on his second turn, he has a follow-up move that does more damage based on how much health he's missing.
Okay. Yeah.
So
right. Yeah.
That's how I've got that going.
Got it. Yep.
And then there's other things where like the more that I play it, because now I got to the end of I'm actually almost at the end of Act 2.
Yeah, you're definitely way farther than me. I didn't get very much further than where I was, so yeah.
Did you get to the end of Act 1?
I don't even know what the end of Act 1 is, so no, probably.
Oh,
not.
you would definitely.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So,
no, I didn't get there.
It's a pretty like pivotal moment.
Got it.
So basically I've got like access to a good chunk of the world now because
cool.
SKA can swim.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
And I've got to the point now where it's like I'm going up towards like a big battle, and it's like, okay, well, let me go look around and do some side stuff before I do that.
Sure.
So I've been doing that, but because you do have an overworld map. And it didn't occur to me until I started looking for stuff that I had missed.
Yeah.
How shitty that overworld map is.
It's not super great. Yeah.
You'll see things pop up on the map, but unless you have actually physically gone into them, their names don't show up on the map.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes it. Yeah.
I really feel the game, like, for it being about an expedition, it almost discourages exploration, because the other thing is that like basically every off the beaten path part is like, well, here's this mega super boss that, you know, if you're really good at the game.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seemed like, because so when we were talking last week, I think I was in one of those places where like it was just kind of like I was like, oh, what's over here? Like I'll go over here and see what like some of the side stuff was, and there wasn't like a danger flag on it. But then like as I was going, I was like, wait, am I just going to like fight this like random boss over here? Because I really don't feel like doing that, and I think I just like backed out. I was just like, I'm just gonna go do the regular stuff. I'm really not in the mood to fight like hardcore shit right now. And nor do I know if I really, and that's kind of a reason why I haven't really like been like, I'm really into this game and gonna play it all the time, because you're right, like the exploration part of it, I'm just like not super into. Like, and I in that map, in that little area, I kind of got lost in it. Like I was like, okay, I don't remember where the fuck I'm going. I don't even know where forward is right now. Like this is kind of annoying, and I don't know the places that I have explored and haven't explored. I don't know why I'm even here. I'm just gonna back out and go do the thing I'm actually supposed to do, which I did, and it was fine. But then no, I don't know. I like it, but I don't love it, you know?
Man, I'm glad to hear you say that, 'cause that's where I'm at. Like, I think it's a great game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a masterpiece like people are saying. I don't think it's, you know, like it's probably the best game that I've played so far this year.
Yeah.
But I also haven't gotten that far into a lot of the games that I've played this year.
I haven't gotten. Yeah, me neither. So
yeah, we're both like way behind on.
I'm super behind, and I'm gonna try to make a comeback at some point here. Every time I feel like I'm going to, something kind of happens or comes up, and I'm like, oh man, never mind.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I've just been like pretty bad about using my free time, where it's like I tend to not even like fire up a game until like 9.
Yeah.
Even though I've got plenty of time, but it's like I'll take a nap right after work sometimes and wake up at like 7:30.
My big curse this year is like I like the WWE game this year. And that's really
I did notice you were playing that the other day.
That's my big fucking curse. Is that I'm just like because when I get in that mode where I'm just like, oh, but I have an idea for this thing and it's starting to come together and it looks really good. And then I just like fucking go all in on it. Like most of my hours in that game are looking at the main menu with me on my phone editing shit. That's all it is a lot of the time. It's so stupid. Like I could literally just close the game, watch a YouTube video, but I'm like, but no, I need to be right here. So when I get it done, I can go to this and just upload it. And then, oh yeah, then it looks good. Oh man, but yeah, like
and you turn into Macho Man Randy Savage a little bit
apparently.
reason.
Yeah, I don't know why. But yeah, that's the thing I've been doing. But yeah, like that's really it. Like so and you know, it's just one of those things I like to do. And
you know, to be fair, like you haven't really gotten into them for most of the time that we've been podcasting together. Like you've played them all.
Oh yeah,
but you've dropped them real quick.
For me, yeah, I have dropped them real quick, and like now this year, I'm like, I think starting streaming has kind of like added to that too, because I have a goal in mind now where I'm like, no, if I can get like a full universe thing going with all my dumb bullshit, it's gonna be really cool. And that's what I'm aiming for. So and that's time consuming. I actually probably have it to where I could probably do it now, but it's a whole thing. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. The stupid fucking WWE game just keeps getting in the way of everything. And I keep usually what ends up happening with the WWE game is like, I'll even if I like it, right? A lot of times something else will come out and I'll be like, oh, okay, but fuck that. Put this down for a little while. We're playing this. And nothing has really been that right yet, you know?
Yeah.
Like where there's games that come out that I'm like, I like and I'm interested. I still want to finish fucking Wanderstop. I still have not finished that game.
I was wondering about that one.
Yeah, no, I it's still installed. I am still like, I'm waiting to set a day aside and fucking play it. So yeah. My Saturdays are going to get a little bit busier now, and it's going to be a whole thing. But through those Saturdays, I might have more shit to talk about on this show, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It might be interesting.
There's there's character stuff that I've got a big problem with on Expedition 33 that I want to wait until you get there.
Yeah,
and then
I definitely intend to keep playing it. So
yeah. I definitely want to do a spoiler cast on this one once we both finish it, because it's kind of one of the biggest games of the year.
Yeah.
And there's stuff that I want to talk about openly, but there's just there's stuff that I can talk about vaguely that I have issues with that I'm curious to see if you'll feel the same way.
Okay.
But the core story and like certain things continues to be compelling, and like the world continues to be compelling.
Yeah, I like a lot of the stuff that they have going on with that. In that aspect, like I find it like a fascinating fantasy world, right? Like it's neat in that aspect. So
I'm already feeling that I hope that this is like a one-off, that there's not a sequel to this game, that they just take what they learned from making the game and do another RPG, but just a completely different setting and stuff.
Is the like the part of the name, the Clair Obscure thing, is that like a label that they're gonna start using for things, or how is that?
I'm not
what
sure.
is that?
I remembered when the game was first announced that somewhere someone said that like Clair Obscure was a thing.
Okay.
And that this was like in that world, but I think it's a thing that Sandfall Interactive made.
Okay.
So I guess they could make that into that's like the actual like thing, and then I don't know like if that has like a direct tie-in to the world and the themes of the world, and so it would still be a thing where like
if that's the world itself, or if it's just like I don't know what, I'll be honest, I don't know French at all, so I don't know what it really means. And I don't feel like Googling it at the moment. So there's that. Like I wonder if it's just like, no, it's like, almost like Goosebumps. I don't know. That's a really bad example, but like this is the title of the thing, and it's all different stories from all this stuff, you know? I don't know. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah. It could be like an anthology type name where it's just like an umbrella for whatever. And I'll be curious to see what ends up being like the recognizable name. Because I do find it surprising that the masses know Elder Scrolls, because I only ever hear people refer to Oblivion and Skyrim, and I wouldn't have been surprised if the next game was going to be Skyrim 2.
No.
Just because like that name has become so huge.
Oh yeah.
That I wouldn't be surprised if they just dropped the Elder Scrolls thing, a la, almost like they did with they almost did that with Call of Duty for a while, where for a while it was just Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Right. That's all people called it. And it was just Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, basically. But Call of Duty still persisted as a name. So we'll see. Yeah.
When it comes to Elder Scrolls, people do know that one. So like they'll probably, I kind of have if you want my prediction, I'm going to guess it's going to be a Hammerfell thing. That's the expert.
That seems to be
the expert pick.
General,
yeah. But yeah, I would be curious to see what they do with that, or if that's a thing going forward. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, like I said, I want to keep playing that game. But then again, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I hope you stick with it.
I do. No, I intend to. Like there. I'll put it like this. It has a better chance of me sticking with it than like what was the other fucking thing?
Avowed?
I guess Avowed, but like no, the one from last year that everybody was
Metaphor.
Metaphor, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
It has a better chance, like, because this one I think about every day playing, where I'm just, but like I get to a certain point, I'm like, I feel too exhausted to play that game right now because I have to be on it, you know?
Yeah, it's because it's a game where I've noticed that like the more tired I am, like I will miss like the actual like attack prompts as well, not just the dodging, but like, oh, I either didn't get the perfect on this attack or I failed it.
Right.
And you'll still do damage when you fail an attack, but you just don't get like the full damage or the full benefit of said attack.
Yeah.
But it's like, shit, like I usually get perfect on this, and I haven't hit perfect on this like in the last like 5 times that I've done this move.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like I have to be on it to play it. Sifu was like similar to that, but the difference between Sifu and this, and like those are 2 games I like randomly compared last week, and I still kind of feel that way, feeling wise, when I nail something, right? But the difference is like Sifu, I was just going through the same level over and over and over again, and there's like a relaxing quality to that. Like even if I fuck it up, like sometimes I'm just like randomly pulling off some cool shit, or just mashing the buttons and people are going down, and or learning some weird thing, or it kind of was different in that aspect. Where here I'm just like, well, I'm just going, it's a straight line for the most part, or with some side stuff here and there, but. Yeah, like I feel like I have to be more on it than I do with Sifu. But then again, I don't know. Sifu,
I get that, because I was thinking about like, well, why am I having like a harder time with this than I am like a FromSoft game? Because even though I haven't like finished a lot of FromSoft games, I don't struggle with them as much as people may think.
Right.
Well, I mean, Sekiro I definitely did, because Sekiro was like parry or die, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But with a lot of those games, like I have full control over the character.
Yeah.
So even if I'm not Johnny on the spot about rolling at the right frame or parrying.
You can be out of the way of things. Yeah. And there's a big difference. Yeah. Like Sifu, same way. Like I can just get out of the way sometimes, or like randomly, you know, there's a lot of different ways to handle things in that one. Where this one, it's like, no, you got two options. And you gotta hit them or get fucked.
I mentioned about the exploration, about like it's just like a super boss at the end of every side path, and like, you know, sure, like if you're really good, you can parry it like all the live long day and not take any damage. But one of the things that I really wish that this game had was like knowing what level an enemy is before you engage. So that you have an idea of like what the power disparity actually is, right?
Yeah, because it is kind of depressing to go into a fight and just get like absolutely one shot, and you're like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. Fuck yeah, okay.
Yeah. Or, you know, now that I'm on the easier mode, it's like, okay, example, I fought, there's these like really large enemies.
I've seen those,
yeah, they're a thing. Like they're part of the story, and they're different from the Nevrons.
Okay, got it.
And I fought one of the optional ones. Like he was just wandering around the world. I was like, let me go try.
Yeah.
And you know, his attack pattern was actually doable for me. Like I definitely got hit by stuff, but
sure.
I was like, oh no, I can get these patterns down. I can dodge and parry this stuff pretty well. But the problem was like, oh, but like I'm doing like 9,000 damage, and it's not even like making a dent on his life bar.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to sit there for like an hour and a half, like whittling
that's not my cup of tea either. Like I can't sit there and do that. Like if I don't feel like I'm doing anything to them, I'm not gonna be into it. Like I'm the same way with Souls games, or you know, like with Elden Ring. When I played that, I was like, no, I'm not supposed to be here. I'll come back. Like, and I would, you know, I'd leave and go back, and then it was fun. Like I would, but yeah, not.
The check on Elden Ring is, here's my opening move.
Yes.
Did the life bar move? Like, do I see like the gap on the life bar?
Yeah.
You know, because like, I mean, there's a lot of enemies that will just like one or two shot you regardless. Regardless of your level. So, but the crucial thing is, but what am I doing to them?
Exactly. If it's moving, then you're in. You can actually fight this guy. But like if it's like, oh no, that didn't. Oh no. Okay, yeah, no. I tried really hard there, and I barely got even maybe a 30th of their health down. No, we're gonna back out of this. So yeah.
So that's kind of my thing.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you.
I think that like, the next place that I go is the end of Act 2, but it feels like a point of no return type of thing. I haven't been spoiled on anything. I just have this inkling that whatever happens when I finish Act 2 is going to like change the world in a way where I might like lose access to certain things.
I got no idea.
So I'm just trying to like mop up certain things, but at the same time, it's like, but I'm not finding anything worth. Oh, and that's the other thing that's really annoying about this game. And I think I did mention it last week. Is that like they don't keep track of any of like the side quests or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I got an item that was for a side quest, and the characters, to their credit, mentioned, oh, here's that thing that someone wants, and it's like, right, but where are they? Like I don't like I vaguely remember somebody asking for this. I have no idea where they are. This
is their Souls influence, and this is a thing that I don't think meshes with the game at all. Like
it's bad in Souls games.
Yeah, exactly. You're not a big fan of that in there, and I'm not really either. But like those players love that shit, and I don't really. I've never really vibed with it, but God bless. And that it's an influence that I feel it doesn't work here. It works kind of in Souls games because they're meant to be like kind of weird and fucking like you're gonna play them multiple times probably. So like every now and then you'll be like, what is this weird fucking thing? And then you'll find the guy that it goes to, and then you'll be like, oh, and okay, I guess I get it, and then you can go from there. Or like a lot of people like love when those games come out and they're sitting there dissecting, oh no, you have to go here and do this thing, and like it kind of has this own little like community figuring it out aspect of everything, which people like that. But like here, I don't think you need that. I think if you just had a fucking, regular, like, here's a journal. Like, I mean, the guy writes in a fucking journal all the time.
That's my thing.
Yeah. I know. I'm right there with you on that. It's so nuts.
And that's my thing, even with like the FromSoft, is like you could do a really cool in-universe version of it where it's like, it's not like all the information, but it's like, you know, you're at least taking note of like the last place you saw this person,
right,
and what they wanted, right? So there's a couple things about that. One, I think Shadow of the Erd Tree actually did it the best that I've seen of their games, because at least the NPCs would show up in highly trafficked areas where you were probably going to see them again.
You're probably going to find them, right? Yes.
Yeah. There was also a more coherent logic to some of it.
Yeah.
Like, I actually finished certain quests in Shadow of the Erd Tree sight unseen,
Sure.
which
Yeah.
I normally don't do with their games.
No, there are a lot of, I don't either. So yeah.
Yeah. But I know that that game Hell Is Us that's coming out later in the year is a similar thing where like they're not tracking stuff the way that like typical games do. You're supposed to like kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
But I also think that the character does like keep track of certain things in a journal that's like an in-universe thing.
I think there's a cool in-between here, right? Where you could like, it's almost exactly what you said right before all this, where it's just like, what if it was just like, hey, I talked to this guy, he said these key points, and maybe
there was
on.
like a cool like sketch from the character,
or
of the person that they talked to, or something like that.
Either, and like, oh, like, you know, he mentioned maybe I'll see him down the road or some shit like that. I don't know how you could do it, but you could, like, he was looking for this thing. If I find something like this, and then, you know. And then when you find the thing, have it add to that, like, oh, I think maybe this person would be interested in this or whatever, you know, have a whole thing going. There's a way to do it without being like, no, go here and do this, right? Like, that's right. There's got to be.
Because I get the pushback of that,
I absolutely
right? Like,
do too.
I can take it either way, but you know, again, I think it's also a matter of just like options. Also,
I'm very much a simpleton when it comes to that stuff. I a lot of the time I'm just tell me where to go and what to do. I'll do it. I'll get it done.
Right.
Just put an arrow over their fucking head. I'm here for it. I am the anti-modern gamer with that shit, where I'm just like, no, just tell me where to go and what to do. I'll do it that way.
But I do like it, you know, again, part of role playing, right, is I don't like it. I don't like things that make the character or characters feel like inept, right? Like, you know, Silent Hill, the original Silent Hill 2, I thought it was so awesome when James would actually mark on his map physically.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is a dead end. This door was locked. Type of stuff.
Doesn't one do that too?
It might, but I remember it in 2.
Yeah, it's a big thing in 2, but I feel like 1 did it too. It's always kind of been like, to me, that's always been a Silent Hill map thing. Like, I always thought that was a really cool aspect where it's like, this door is nothing. Don't worry about this.
I think that's also like, I realized like what I, you know, the real tryhards on like the Souls games where they're like, oh, I'm not going to use any items or magic or anything like that. Right. It's like, oh, so you want to play as an idiot.
Yeah, basically.
You want to play as someone who's like, well, I'm deathly ill, but I don't need to go see a doctor. Like, I'm just gonna tough it out because you know, because I'm a strong virile man and I dare anybody to take a run at me.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's so stupid to me. For an expedition, it's like, you guys seem really woefully ill prepared for expeditioning.
People like a challenge, but you know,
challenge is fine. But you know, it's like, I don't know. Again, it's the role playing thing for me, where it's like, okay, so you've decided to play an idiot. Okay, just as long as you're aware that you're playing, you're role playing an idiot.
To be fair, I think it was in Elden Ring as well, but like, I know Dark Souls always had like a class that was just all ones. Like, it was like the nothing class, and it was for those crazy ass people that just wanted to torture themselves, like, because they knew it was a thing, and they just kind of leaned in, which I kind of admire that. Like, somebody's gonna want to do it. Ring too, because I think it's also, I think like, it is,
because that's the class that allows you to like customize it completely, because it doesn't start with any pre-rolled stats. They're all start at 1, because they start at level 1.
Yes,
where most of the characters start at various
little things.
Levels.
Yeah. You have an advantage here and there. Yeah.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
We are living in unprecedented times. The economy is in upheaval. Supply chains are in disarray. In these trying times, remember the corporations. Hi, I'm Ned Bortley from Save the Billionaires. It's more important than ever to remember that corporations are people, and they deserve your support and respect. Reach out to the corporations that have had the most impact in your life, and do what you can for them.
Oh God, I lost everything. Please, I'm so hungry. Shut up, you little weasel.
Remember, every little bit helps. Because if we lose our corporations, we lose ourselves.
I did try something new.
Okay, cool.
Briefly, which is, like I said last week, I got around to trying the demo for Metal Eden, which is that kind of sci-fi first-person shooter that we've been interested in.
Yeah.
It's got like some really strong Metroid Prime vibes.
Okay.
And it's interesting.
Okay.
I will say, like, it feels really good. Like, it feels like they're going for a Doom 2016 type of vibe in the sense of, like, very fast. Like, there's no aim down sights. It's,
sure.
You know, it's shoot from the hip. It's fly through levels, like, keep moving, because when you hit like an arena battle, they're coming from all sides, and you got to keep your head on a swivel, and they've got like jump pads to, like, you know, get over enemies. And it's not the same melee mechanic as Doom, but it is a thing where if you're low on health and you hit somebody with a melee, they have a higher chance of dropping health packets.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of push and pull type of thing.
Right.
But I can't tell if it's supposed to be a run-based game or not. The dialogue of the game makes me think that it is, because there's like a guy talking to you, and he's like, "Oh, like, you know, you'll do better next run," or something like that.
Huh.
And when you wake up, you're like an android or something like that.
Oh,
and
okay, yeah.
Like one of your systems is offline, and so he tells you to go grab it from this other one. He's like, "Yeah, that one didn't make it last time, but you know, you can blah blah blah," right? And at the end of the tutorial level, you get killed, and then the first level, like the cutscene, begins with you being rebuilt and going back out into the field,
right?
So I don't know. I didn't play long enough to see like actually how that works in practice.
Yeah,
it's an interesting thought.
It almost sounds like they're doing like a Returnal type of thing.
And Returnal also kind of had like some Metroid vibes,
right?
Like Returnal, if you take out like the bullet hell stuff and like the Soulsborne influences, it seemed more like what I would want a third-person Metroid game to be.
Sure, yeah, I can see that.
So it makes, you know, so yeah, here's like the Metroid Prime flavor of that.
Yep.
And you do turn into a ball sometimes, which I thought was kind of funny. Like,
why not?
Especially because, like,
well, be careful, Nintendo will sue you, and then you can't no more ball. So
no, yeah, I was gonna say, because like Pal World came out like this week and talked about like, yeah, man, we've had to change a lot of shit in our game, and we're having to change even more shit.
Yeah,
but you know, it's either that or die. So hopefully you guys are okay with the changes.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I would like to know if they still have the fucking like Breath of the Wild font and sound effect. Like, when that was a thing that I thought was way more egregious, than the Pokemon stuff. I was like, it's literally the font and the music.
Well, they can't. I know they took out gliding, like the flying aspect or something like that. I think.
Well, they took out gliding while using a PAL to glide, which I thought was a weird thing, because I was like, I don't know. Well, one, it's like, I'm not aware. I'm sure there's a Pokemon game where you can do that with a Pokemon.
Yeah.
But like, they don't. That's just a thing that has happened in video games where it's like, hey, here's this friendly animal pal, and like you can glide with them, or you can traverse with them. It's like, they're gonna win, and it's really frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
Because they shouldn't.
No, they shouldn't. But
except again for stuff that is like literal like artwork and sound effect, where it's like, no, you were wrong for using that shit.
They should win for that. Absolutely.
Yeah. But like the act of like capturing something in a ball, it's like, you might have been the first person to do it, but it's not like, I don't.
Oh my god. Yeah. It's wild. Nobody can do it. No,
Yeah.
you can't have it.
And, you know, a lot of this does come from the salt that I still feel for the fact that we're never going to see the Nemesis system again.
Yeah, probably not, unfortunately.
Apparently that patent wears out or runs out in 2036. But, like, by that point, will there even be a planet?
Yeah, hard to say. Who knows? But yeah.
Or will any of us be able to afford a console?
That, or will anybody remember the Nemesis system, really? Somebody will at some point, but it might take
Pepperidge
a
Farm
while.
will.
Yeah. Yeah, they remember a lot sometimes.
They do.
It's weird.
But back to Metal Eden, I think it's cool.
Mm.
I think it might be worth checking out. They delayed it, which might be a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's coming out in like end of the summer or September. It's a weird thing where it's like, I don't know if you want to release ahead of the new Doom game or after the new Doom game. I think either way, you're kind of fucked this year. But my thing is like, hey, it's cool to see like another story-based first-person shooter.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
And that's the game. There's no multiplayer component to it. It is
that's
a
good.
story-based FPS game.
Yeah,
which is
run
cool.
based, but with story. That's fine.
Yeah. I forgot that Doom is coming out next week, and I'm like,
It does come up. It does come out next week. Yes. So
yeah.
I mean,
and it seems like it's what I want it to be. Like it seems like it's closer to Doom 2016.
Yeah, got a 9 out of 10. So
well, I mean,
something.
so did Doom Eternal, but Doom Eternal was like unplayable for me. It required way too fast of reflexes, and I've said it before. It felt like it was made for like mouse and keyboard players, and that's never going to be me.
Yeah, no.
Even if I could play it on like this computer, I just don't have that skill set to play with mouse and keyboard.
I'm not good at mouse and keyboard either. I can't do that shit either.
So this is like it's like a more methodical, slower pace.
That's cool. Yeah.
But still has some of the like push and pull mechanics of the last couple of games. And yeah, it sounds like it's doing everything that I would have wanted it to do.
Sure.
So I'm pretty excited for that. I really am hoping to finish Expedition 33 over the weekend, though. I put a good chunk of time into it last weekend.
I mean, looking it up, it straight, like if you're not doing like all the side content, I think it was like straight through was like 30 hours or something like that, which didn't seem too bad. So
yeah, and I'm around 25 now.
So,
and again, I have been looking around for stuff for the last few hours.
Yeah, and you'll probably I'm sure there's more to do and all that stuff, but yeah, you know, there
is stuff where like there's not a lot in the way of minigame, which I appreciate because one, I tend to not like that shit, but two, it speaks to their focus of, you know, we have budget and we have time for certain things.
Yeah.
So we're going to put it where it counts. But there is like a recurring, is it
the traversal one?
Yeah. And I saw the first one and I tried the first jump twice and I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
And then when I saw there were more of them, I was like, fuck
you
that.
Really,
no.
all you're getting is clothing items anyway. It's not really worth it. I did the first one. I was surprised at me being just like, yeah, I guess I'll do it. Because they almost designed them as it's a popular thing, like Chained Together or whatever, all those things where it's like the popular, like, you're gonna fuck this up. Yeah, getting over it. Yeah. You're gonna fuck this up a bunch, but like it's kind of designed like a much easier version of that. And I was kind of surprised, like, oh yeah, no, but like playing them, I was just like, yeah, this was not designed for platforming. This is kind of a mess when you really try to make it a thing. But you know, it's as a cute little thing to throw on there. Why not?
Yeah.
But yeah.
And there was a pretty big patch that came out today that I need to actually go update because
I did see that.
I had seen someone post this on Blue Sky, and I don't know how true it is, but like apparently there were some times where the game would just like drop inputs. So there might have been some times where I was actually reacting in time, but the game just didn't pick it up.
I wouldn't doubt it.
So it might not have all necessarily been me, but I feel that like most of it was.
I know the only thing I seen about it was they had to nerf some attack because it was like apparently too good. And I was like, interesting. They're like, no, we want it to be broken. We want it to be good, but like it's too good. I was like, okay, all right, and it happens.
I'm sure there's a place where you can break your damage limit because right now it's like I have been hitting like 9,999.
Yeah,
fairly consistently with a couple characters. Dude, the last character you get is a fucking beast.
Yeah,
The only problem is that they're basically a blue mage, which means that like if you want to like get like the best out of them, they're kind of stuck in your party, which that's what I always hate about blue mages.
Yeah. I've never been a blue mage guy.
Me either.
Yeah, never.
But
been
this
my
character, like, even the first move they give you from them, like the first time I used it, I was like, how are they giving this to me?
Right.
It's like a 4-hit combo that does like each hit does massive damage, but it also does huge amounts of break.
Oh, nice.
And, like basically you do that one move and like the monster is almost at stagger.
Right.
Like on the first turn.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else happened? Oh, I know this isn't really like your thing, but I was just curious. Since we're looking for things to talk about, what did you think of? Did you see the GTA 6 trailer, the new one? What did you think of it?
Oh, dude, I was gonna say like I probably won't bring it up because Justin's not gonna give a shit.
Yeah, no,
like, he probably didn't even watch it.
Oh no, I did.
Dude, it looks incredible.
It really looks good, doesn't it? Yeah.
I wish that this had been like the gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
Because I just want to see how it's moving, and like Gerson on his show, he was like, "What do you mean gameplay? Like, what do you need to see?" It's like, "Oh, they're in a car. Oh, they're shooting." It's like, no, but I want to see like how that driving and how that shooting looks, because you can tell a lot by how a game moves, how it's going to feel in your hand.
Yeah. And
that's kind of my big thing, because like up until Red Dead Redemption 2, that was like the first of their games where I was like, oh, this feels okay.
Yeah.
Like I like the shooting in this. It feels right. But man, I'm glad they delayed it.
Yeah, oh yeah, me too. Yeah, they're not it feels like a night and day difference from, the culture, of before, because before they would have been crunching to fucking get this shit out. At least that's what it sounds like.
And I am really curious about this one. I mean, one, because it's the first like GTA in, well, now it'll be 13 years by the time it comes out. But also, it's the first Rockstar game since Hauser left.
Yeah.
I don't know if both Hausers left, but whichever one was the writer, he's been gone.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what that does as far as like the tone of the game. What I would really hope to see, and they've never really done this, the closest they got was the actual gang stuff in San Andreas.
Okay.
I've always wanted to have that feeling of starting from the bottom and now we're here.
Yes.
Right. And have that not only be like what you're doing on the side, but also factoring into the story.
Right.
Because I loved when you were like taking over Los Santos in San Andreas, like that shit was cool.
Yeah.
But that's only a small part of the game, and it's just kind of like a side activity.
Yes.
And I would love it if, because like the whole thing here is like, oh, it's a couple and the girl just got out of prison. And this trailer makes me think that they are trying to make a go of it at first.
It seems
she comes
like
home from like an obvious job and she's like exhausted.
Yes. I don't know why I really liked that scene in particular. It's
loved
the
that
ending.
scene.
It's the ending of it. I was just like that. There's something about it that was like, that is the most real couple shit I've ever seen in my life. Where somebody just comes home and just collapses onto the other one. I'm just like, yeah, no, that's real. That's fucking good.
No, I think that trailer does a great job of establishing like their relationship, and
I was like, okay, I get where we're going, what we're doing here. At least, it's definitely like a kind of what they've kind of pitched it as is like, this is kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde type thing. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. that seems neat. I'm interested.
Yeah. And my thing is, I just hope that they remembered to make it fun, because like so many.
I got a feeling you might have a bit of a issue with that, but yeah,
we'll see. I mean, you too, right? Like we're both like on record of being like, man, like the way that they like penalize you for taking like one toe out of
that
line.
Stuff bothers me. Stuff bothers me.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay,
like,
I don't like that stuff. I know you and I have a difference of like the realism factor, where I like that stuff and you don't, especially when it comes to driving. That's what I thought you were talking about. But yeah, that the like, no, we filmed it as this and this is how it will be kind of stuff. I fucking hated. I hated that in Red Dead, and I really liked Red Dead 2. The second time around, the first time around, that exact aspect fucking drove me out of it. I was just like, I'm not fucking dealing with this.
Yeah. because those early PS2 games were like, I remember talking to guys at the store where we would like talk about a mission. It's like, oh no, I didn't do that at all. I did this thing, and it's like, oh shit, like
that was the fun of it. Yeah. I remember GTA 3. There was some fucking mission that I was just like, this is bullshit. I fucking hate this. And I remember I somehow got on top of a building and got everything to trigger. And then I just fucking rained, missile launcher shit on them and blew everything up. And I was like, perfect, done. Yeah. Now I can leave. It was great. Like, I loved the, like, oh, I feel like I outsmarted it. That's great. Yeah. There's an aspect of that that's really fun. And
like, the coolest thing that GTA 6 could do for me would be that the main story is like, there's these like 6 or 8 like crime lords in the city that need to go.
That would be neat. Yeah.
Go do it. Right. And then however you will. And those characters actually have like different, like maybe some of them have like bespoke missions that you have to do. But like, if you see them just out in the wild and like you've got your shot and you take your shot, they're off the board. Hey, like, I think that'd be really cool.
That'd be neat. Yeah.
And then you take over their enterprises, and that's where the whole like money and power and influence stuff starts to factor in, where it's like, oh shit, you've got like this much of the pie now.
I do doubt it'll be that. It
won't be that.
Yeah.
But that would be the coolest thing for me.
It'd be neat.
If it was something like that.
Yeah, it's the thing with GTA games is they do like to write. They do like to make like a cinematic thing. And it's tough to make something like that if the game is open ended, because then like, okay, cool, we set up all this stuff and you erased it with one shot. That's why characters in Elder Scrolls games are immortal. You just, because it's like, well, listen, he's got to be alive.
But that's like a thing that I'm hoping that like we can do with like modern like AI and stuff like that, right? Yeah. And I'm not talking about generative AI. I'm talking about like behavioral AI and stuff like that. And also
what's been in
the
video
logic
games,
of the game.
Yeah, what's been in video games for a long time. Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Like a game being able to pivot around something that you weren't intended to do, right? Mm-hmm. Actually, Big Baker will love this because she was there. But one of my favorite like tabletop experiences was we were playing Pathfinder with our game group.
I got you.
And it was the scenario, and this is the begin. Keep in mind, this is the beginning of the night. The scenario was that a couple people had been kidnapped from the village, and we were trying to find them. And we got to this farm, and it was like this massive like cornfield. Right? Just like stalks as far as the eye can see.
Yeah.
And it was like a maze. It was actually Big Baker now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
She was the mage of the group, and she was like, I set fire to the field.
Right.
And the DM was like, corn stalks don't really burn, do they? And you could tell she was really trying to like not let this go down.
Yeah.
But we were all like, it's like, no, pretty sure it burns just fine. Like, I think it's going to be fine. Like, does she do it or not? And she succeeded in the role. And the DM was like, okay, you set fire to the field. It burns for 3 days and 2 nights. And like, everything is gone. You win.
Yeah.
The end.
Right.
And we were like, what?
Yeah.
And she was like, no, yeah, this was supposed to be like the whole night. Like, it was supposed to be like you guys kind of combing through and like fighting encounters. You killed 3 innocent people, by the way. And we were like, oh, that's just collateral damage. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. What are you going to do? Yeah.
And so we ended up just like having dessert and just like shooting the shit for the rest of the night because nothing else was planned.
Yeah. You'll have that. Yeah.
For that night. But it's like, that type of like, oh, didn't think you were going to do that, but well, we'll deal with it.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. But no, I've only watched the one time. I need to go back and watch it a couple more times because that's just I do that.
I watched it twice actually because the first time I seen it, it came out while I was at work and I wasn't doing anything at the time, and I was just like, okay, I'll watch it here. I think it was like the end of the day when I seen it came out, and I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, this is awesome looking. Like I was just like blown away by like visuals alone for the most part. Like I knew they were going to be good, but there was like something about these ones in particular where I was like, wow, fucking video games, right? And
I love the fact that it looks incredible, but there's still just a tint of stylization to the characters.
There's still like you can tell it's a video game, and you can tell it's one of these, but like it looks incredible at the same time. Like it's crazy.
It's something that I wish that I could go back in time to 2001 and show to Julian at Game Fellas, like right after GTA 3 comes out. It's like, yo, check this shit out.
This is what this becomes eventually, right? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I watched it then, and then I was like, but I couldn't really hear it because where I work is pretty loud. So I was like, I can't really make out what they're actually saying. It's just bits and bobs. So then when I got home, I watched it with, like the sound on and all that stuff, and I was like, yeah, this is hitting for me. I'm way into this.
And I've always like Vice City was my favorite city.
Mine too.
The older stuff.
I always wanted them to go back there, and I think it's a cool idea to go back there in a more modern context too.
Because Florida's gotten crazy.
Right. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot going on in that state, right? It's kind of neat and perfect, and I like how they're leaning into a lot of that stuff too. So that it seems cool.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
The Stage Select is made possible through the support and funding of viewers like you. Here are our wonderful patrons.
I'm glad I brought that up, Julian.
Me too. Yeah. Look at us. We
got more than we thought sometimes.
We do. And one of the things that I think we should do next is to thank our lovely patrons, Justin.
Okay, I guess we can do that. That sounds fine. Whoops, I did it again. I did the same thing I did last time, where I minimized the browser window because I'm so used to just getting rid of Skype calls. Okay, here we are.
It'll be an adjustment.
It's a whole thing. All I got to do is click over now. It's easier.
We appreciate all of our lovely patrons, but every week we like to thank the executive producer tier. And this week, we have Dr. Delicious.
We have Eric Peacock of Soundtracker.
We have Dennis Robertson.
We have Xrian.
I don't know why my voice is cracking. We have David Portnoy.
We have Game Johnson of Retrofits.
We have Casey Curran, sir.
We have Matt Jorgensen.
We have Bookie.
We have Philip P.K. Becker.
We have Bill Tucker of A Gamer Looks at 40.
It's unfortunate whoever gets Julian to read their name right now. I'm sorry about this. We have Raymond Crumb.
We have Big Baker.
We have 60X Self is the Stage Select's favorite rapper. I don't know about this, but okay.
We have Addy XD.
We have Stephen Lobo.
And we have Xavier Krager.
Thank you to all of our patrons. I'll say it so Julian doesn't have to.
Yeah. Well, Justin, hear me out.
Okay. Oh boy.
Because like I said, I've been brainstorming this week. Like,
okay,
we've got to diversify the portfolio.
Okay.
Right. We've got to be more than just a couple dudes talking about video games.
Sure.
So I thought of like a pitch for Netflix.
Okay.
It's going to be an American anime. They greenlight that shit every day.
Right.
So like, I think we basically just have to tell them what it is, and they'll give us money because they just don't care. It's just, if it's animated, you get at least a season, and that's really all we need, man.
Right.
So it's about a guy that has a bunch of girlfriends, but he can't decide who he loves the most.
Okay.
Right. So he gets all the girls together. It's like a harem-based anime. It's like, comedy and stuff like that.
So it's an anime. It's an anime,
but American anime.
This isn't a Chinese FMB dating simulator. This isn't what this is.
No. This is like Castlevania.
Okay, but it is the setup for one. I'm just clarifying.
Well, hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out.
All right.
So he gets all the girls together to compete in a reality TV show.
This definitely sounds like a Chinese FMB dating simulator, but go on, yes.
Okay. But they're all going to compete so that he can decide who's going to be his bae.
Sure.
The winner wins a ceremonial dagger to mark their love. It's called the Beyblade, Justin.
Oh, it's a Beyblade.
Yeah.
Julian, you might run into some issues with, copyright and such.
No, but it's Beyblade.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Hear me out.
I did, and I feel like you may need to rename it.
No, I mean, we'll see.
I don't think the actual Beyblades people are willing to not let it rip on a lawsuit. That's all I'm going to say.
Totally different spelling, totally different connotation. It's an actual blade in this case. Those are just spinning tops.
Well, I mean, they try really hard, Julian. Yeah.
I honestly thought that was going to hit you for more emotional damage.
No.
I thought when I said that it's the Beyblade, you were just going to get up and walk out.
No, I mean it's something, but I've come to expect that from this podcast sometimes. So here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
Here we are. I'm gonna. This might be an edit point. Is it okay if we take a small break, Julian? Is that
no? Actually, let's take a normal break because I would like to run to the convenience store.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds good to me. All right, cool. We just leave it. We're just gonna leave this.
Just leave it running.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Just like
great.
normal.
Sounds good. Well, tell you what, snap into that there Jacob Washington real quick. How y'all doing out there? Hi. Well, hello. This here is Jacob Washington. Now, recently, I have discovered the joys of what they call that there karaoke. Now, I don't know if y'all are familiar with it, but down there at the local Pizza Hut, down there Coburn Way, they've been hosting a one-night karaoke, or karaoke night, I guess is what you could call that. Now, I'm not too familiar with it, but, apparently you go down there and you load up a song and you sing it in front of people. They was just trying to get, conjure up some business, get some people together, get them singing, give them something to talk about, get people into the Pizza Hut again. Not enough people going to that there Pizza Hut, It's not a very popular establishment. But I tell you, businesses come, business go. That's just how it is. But, I've been working on a little something, go down there and sing, give them a little bit of that there, that old Garth Brooks. All right. I'll tell you what. Now, me and Garth, we go quite a ways back, me and Garth. I don't know him personally, but he seems like a swell fella. I listened to his music for a long time, even before Kenny Chesney. And I do enjoy some Kenny Chesney, let me tell you. Y'all heard that there Zach Top? Zach Top, I'm gonna tell you what, that boy right there, now he's making old country, but he's a young kid. I'm gonna tell you what, that's something. That's something right there. Anyway, I felt like I'd, pair a little song to sing here. We'll see how it goes over. I'm not the best singer in the world, but I figured, better than nothing, give everybody something to listen to, come together on. Here it goes. This is a little bit of some Garth Brooks right here. Wild horses keep dragging me away, and they'll lose more than I'm gonna win someday. Wild horses just stay wild, and their heart is all I've arranged. Wild horses keep dragging me away. You know they do. That's all I got right now. I could do some more, Garth. Me and Garth, I'm telling you, we go back quite a bit. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's a whole thing, me and Garth Brooks. This one right here, this might have been his more popular song. I'm going to go ahead and sing it to you. It's called Friends in Low Places. I'm going to tell you right now. Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots. Ruined your black tie fair. I'm sorry about that. Last one to know. Last one to show. I was the last one you thought you'd see there. And I saw the surprise. The fear in his eyes when I took his glass of champagne. I tell you what, I toasted youth and honey, we may be through, but you never hear me complain. dance 'cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. I prefer Miller Lite, and I'll be okay. Now I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the Oasis 'cause I got friends in low places. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I hope all y'all, my friends. I'll talk to y'all later. Goodbye. Oh, poor Julian has to listen to that. I'm so sorry. Then again, he might get a kick out of it. Well, that was the thing I did. That's the thing Jacob did. He does what he wants. You know, I could just fill time while Julian's out. It's fine. What else have I been doing? Oh, I mentioned it a bit, but my Saturdays are going to start getting very interesting. Maybe I got to go mow a lawn. That's going to be fun. I haven't mowed a lawn in quite some time. You know, in the words of Hank Hill, I don't know why anybody would do drugs when they can just mow a lawn. You know, crazy. But I'm going to help my my friend who's been, you know, going through some grieving and some stuff like that, and they don't know how to do things like mow lawns. So I'm gonna go over there and do that, and apparently turn a dehumidifier on because they don't know what it is, but they know they need to turn it on, and that's gonna be entertaining. But we're gonna, you know, hang out, and what else am I gonna do? My other friend that I've mentioned a few times on the show is going to be there too. Maybe. That's going to be interesting. Probably going to play a lot of video games. Which ones? I don't know yet, but I got a feeling I need to just, you know, buckle down and just buy the Silent Hill 2 remake and play it for him, because I know my friend Lonnie has never really played any of the Silent Hill games, which is crazy to me because they like horror stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? And my friend Kim, that's her name, as also, they are familiar with the movie Silent Hill, and they're like, well, it's a really good movie, and I'm like, oh, god damn it, no. She's like, I know who Pyramid Head is, and I'm like, yeah, I know you do, but you don't really know, okay? You don't really know, okay? So maybe we need to school them on all that. But then again, I feel like I need to show them video games that they can actually play, because they have a infinite curiosity of video games, but they are bad at them. So I need to find things that are turn-based, I think. I've been suggesting turn-based for I don't know how long. And I'm going to go show the gospel of turn-based video games to them, and hopefully it sticks. God only knows, right? Oh, what else? I've been thinking a lot about coconuts, obviously. I don't know if anybody picked up on that. Yeah, people texting a lot. That's the thing that bugs me as of late. Like seriously, like, you know, like, I don't know if I think Mariah Carey is really into coconuts. Send text. I don't know. I don't think Mariah Carey would know how to open a coconut. Send text. But no, but listen, Mariah Carey seems like the type who would just always have a machete on hand. Send text. You're right. Send text. That's really, you know, just think, this is, I did that bit for hours because I was just bored and it was something to do. It really went places too. It really went places. What were those places? I don't know, low places probably. Let's see, what else? Well, I don't know. I could hit some buttons. We could hit buttons. What's the point of that though? Who wants to hear buttons? Hold on, do we have the George Thorogood button?
Bad to the bone,
We do have that. Yeah, that's good. That's a good button. Well, let's see. What else have I been doing? What else have I been up to? Like I said, I keep making WWE stuff. I don't know why I keep doing it. It's just something to do, you know? Just get home and I'm just like, yeah, let's design some pants. I'm like, yeah, no, that sounds good. Let's fucking design some pants. I'm into it. And then I do that for like 3 hours. That's my life recently. It's just me designing pants. You ever designed a pair of pants? It's fun. You should try it. You just, go download something or make it, If you have the skills of art, you can draw some pants. Pretty fun. You should try it sometime. I made a tutorial video on YouTube about how to design. Well, not really how to design pants, but I showed a thing that I do that people don't fucking do, and it bothers me that they don't do it because it's easy. But it's one of those things that, like, unless you're an insane person like I am, you probably wouldn't think about it, right? So it's there. This isn't very interesting, but here it is. It can go somewhere. It has a place somewhere, right? Maybe not. Who can say? It's 10:32 p.m. I've been going over a lot of commercials with people as of late. Old commercials. Old, commercial jingles. Jingles. I don't know why I couldn't say that word the first time. Probably should drink more water, but here we are. But yeah, I have a weird memory for lyrics, which is probably why I hate them so much. So, like, if you just... There's some dogs barking in the background. I apologize for that. But they're upset. Sometimes dogs get upset about commercial jingles. I've been saying this for a long time, and I feel like it's a good case, and maybe people will agree or disagree with me. They should really bring back the old 90s Mentos commercials. Millennials need the 90s Mentos commercials to come back. I don't know what Mentos is thinking, not bringing these back. You don't have to do it for very long. Just, make like 3 or 4 of them. They're probably not that hard to produce. Bring the fucking jingle back. Maybe put a little modern stank on it, Bring them back. People will be into it. Millennials remember, I promise. They do. I always get that's a jingle I always get fuzzy on the lyrics of, where it's like, okay, something. It doesn't matter what comes. Fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you. Staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Does it just repeat right there? That's weird. Fresh goes better, Mentos freshness. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life. It just repeats a lot, doesn't it? It's weird. Hi, Julian.
Sorry, that took me longer than I anticipated.
That's okay. This is going to be really awkward to listen to back, but there's a lot of content there. I was just flowing, so
Are you much of a fountain drink guy?
A fountain
Justin?
drink guy? Not so much, actually. I prefer a sealed drink, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially a can. I think everything out of a can is better. Because you get, it's sealed for, my pleasure, I guess. But like fountain drinks, you can really fuck them up,
That's kind of what I was getting at,
yeah.
Justin, because I've noticed like a deep decline in the quality of fountain drink dispensers over the last few years.
Oh, I believe that. that.
I run into a lot of out of order fountain drinks dispensers at gas stations. I I run into a lot of situations where you can actually see like that the water is separated from the syrup,
the soda water. Yeah, it
in a really weird way.
Fucking weird. Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, oh, I think I'm getting more water than actual soda.
So I have you ever worked in a place that had like a fountain drink thing going on?
Yes, okay. I worked at a movie theater.
Right, movie theater. Right. Yes, you have. So those things like fuck up a lot. Like they just do. The amount of times where it was just like, the Dr. Pepper just doesn't work today. And we'll have to call a man about that. And then the man may show up, days later.
I remember having to run to the local grocery store to get a shit ton of 3 liters because all of our machines went down.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, take the company credit card and you need to go and get as much as you can.
It's nice that they let you do that. I don't know if we never had that happen, but so I wonder what the scenario would have been if that would have just happened. I think the worst case thing that we ever had happen at the Wendy's that I worked at, it was not a drink related issue, but all of our all the stuff, all the equipment that keeps things warm just died. So like you had to like make everything on the spot, and I don't remember how the fuck we handled that. Like it was just weird. Like everything went out, so we just had to fucking wing it. That was a fucking day.
But everything for the customer was fresh.
It might have been, or I think we were just like, we'll just get rid of it faster. So it might not have been as fresh, actually, because at certain points you're just like, I'm not making that again. No, you out of your mind.
For like a really long time, the Burger King that was on Uber Eats near me, didn't have Whoppers.
That's wild.
And I mean, and when I say a long time, I mean like 2 months.
That's something. Yeah.
I was like, it's literally in your name. You're the Burger King.
Yeah.
You don't have burgers for sale.
Yeah.
This is bizarre.
You'd be surprised how often that happens, though. Now,
I think it's going to be happening a lot more.
Oh yeah. I mean,
coming up here.
I know. And I'm talking in the 2000s where, like, it was just like a lot of the times what it ends up being. So, let's go deep into the fast food business here. What ends up happening a lot of the times is you're making orders on a prediction of how much you're going to sell, and sometimes you sell a lot more than you thought you would. And so like and then your next order comes in and it's like, oh, that's not even gonna fucking cover a day. This is not good. Or you didn't order enough because you didn't notice the expiration date on something, and then the stuff you have goes bad and you don't have stuff to replace that stuff with. So now suddenly you're out of burgers, and we have chicken because that's frozen. We don't got to worry about that. Or you run out of that because you didn't fucking order enough. It's always it's a thing. Yeah. Fast food is weird. I don't miss it. It's nice.
But somehow the person in leadership that was responsible for those orders didn't actually get in trouble.
Eventually they did, because they did drugs and then would go into work and just pass out in the office and let everybody else run the store while they were doing that. That's a thing I remember. Yeah. Oh, I've seen them out. I'm glad they don't recognize me anymore. It's great.
Well, speaking of inept leadership, Justin, we didn't talk about this last week because it was still kind of a hot story, and I was kind of hoping to get like more information before we commented on it. But there wasn't actually a lot more information forthcoming.
Doesn't seem like week. There is, yeah.
So a couple titans of video games media are basically no more.
Yeah.
So Polygon got bought by someone. I don't have the article in front of me. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's what you figure happens when shit like this happens, which is some company came in and bought a fairly well-regarded games media company.
Right.
And then said, well, we don't need any of these people that are responsible for this content. So we'll just cut them all loose.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, Polygon is still around, but it's not, it's not
It's not actually, a thing. Yeah.
I think they're trying to get by on like a lot of freelancers and whatnot. And
oh yeah,
it's hard to say like if there's anybody left that is responsible for like the standards of the reporting and stuff like that.
Oh
right?
yeah.
I know a lot of capital G gamers are super anti video games media, but I think if you have a good head on your shoulders and you're also not just a piece of shit,
right?
You realize that games media, they're running off of like a set of standards and practices, which is not present with your, influencers or your streamers or your YouTube video essayists, right? Not saying that those people don't have any standards, but it's not like an enshrined, like, this is how we do things. This is our style guide.
Yeah.
This is our ratings rubric, that type of thing.
Yeah.
This is how we source news stories. This is how we follow up on things, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to say like if any of that is even left at whatever's left at Polygon now.
I got a feeling the longer we go, that will just start being random AI generated shit that takes stuff off the internet, because that seems to be the direction a lot of internet sites are going these days, sadly, where they're just like, have Chat GPT write it, it'll be fine. And it's like, fuck.
I mean, I gotta say, like, I'm definitely part of the problem, because I am no longer in the habit of reading articles or reviews for gaming stuff. I get most of my stuff from podcasts and videos, right?
Yeah.
And I think a problem with like a lot of games media is that they were slow to pivot to video, right? Unlike Giant Bomb, which that's the much bigger story for us. It's probably what we'll focus on.
For you and I, I know Polygon is. I know it's it was a real big deal, but I really didn't frequent it very often.
I used to listen to Rebel FM religiously, so when Arthur Geese helped co-found Polygon back in the day, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like Arthur's like like he's a really good writer and blah blah blah. It's like. Then eventually he left, and I was like, okay, well, I don't have to care about Polygon anymore.
And I know they've had like people that I've probably liked here and there on there come and go since then, but that is what it is.
Yeah. But Giant Bomb is a massive one. So what ended up happening last week? They've been bought a couple times in the last few, like since the pandemic. Boy. I think they've changed hands like 3 times.
Yeah, it's been wild. It's CBS and all that for a real long time, and then
CBS had them for a really long time.
Yeah,
then they got sold to Red Letter Media.
Red Venture Media. Was it Whiskey Media that owned them for a minute though?
Well, no, Whiskey Media was the original.
Okay, so got it.
Whiskey Media was the company that like Jeff and Ryan founded Giant Bomb under.
Okay, understood. Okay, I remember them mentioning that name, and I was like, where were they at? Because I remember hearing. Okay, so there was Whiskey Media. There was then CBS.
And then Red Venture Media.
Right.
That's when like Vinny, Brad, and Alex pieced out.
Right.
I guess whatever was going on under that ownership, they were not.
I got a feeling that it was getting dicey under that, because I remember listening to a lot of the podcasts when they were under that stuff, and you could always tell like there was kind of like it like some real like deep cut jokes every now and then at the expense of that place, that I was just like, oh yeah, no, they're okay. So not going super well with whoever has this. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was still Red Venture when they let Gerstmann go. And
I think it was Fandom.
Was it Fandom?
Yeah, it was right at the beginning of the Fandom buying it, I believe.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how that went down.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Red Venture Media. I do know that every time that I've had to interact with a Fandom website, it's been the worst experience.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, no, it's really bad. It's always been...
It feels like it's run by people who don't know anything about how the internet should work.
Oh, it's everything's a mess. You sit there and look at everything, and there's stuff that I've looked up that I'm like, I know this is wrong. I'm reading it, and I'm like, I know that's wrong. That's not
if you
right.
can get past like the bajillion auto playing ads on the
that's
on the site.
Yeah, well, we gotta make our money somehow.
Yeah.
Like they probably got where they got by just having a wiki for something that nobody had a wiki for, and probably didn't really need a wiki, but here it is, and we'll just fucking plaster these ads on there, and that'll get us to the promised land, and I guess it did.
And I don't have a problem with advertising as like in general.
No.
I have a problem with the way that a lot of it is done. So like, I don't like a thing where it's like it's literally covering up.
Oh god,
like
that shit gets so annoying. Yeah,
the page, or like I said, an autoplay thing where it's like all of a sudden this thing is screaming at me.
Yeah,
and it's like I don't even know where it's coming from.
Yep.
It's like where, oh god.
Yeah, it's bad.
YouTube is like real hit or miss with their shit. So like, because they've done it, because I watch a lot of long form videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of video essays and stuff, and they've gotten to a point where they're like, they have like, it's like fewer commercial breaks in this long video, but the ad breaks are longer.
Yes.
But sometimes there's a channel I really like called Screen Crush that does a lot of like Marvel related, like MCU related stuff, or just geek movie type stuff.
Yeah.
Where they do like deep dives and breakdowns and things you missed and stuff like that. Sometimes their videos will have like, because their videos can run about like, sometimes like 35, 45 minutes.
Sure.
So that constitutes a long video.
Yeah.
And so you'll get the fewer ad breaks in this long video where they're like over a minute long.
Yeah.
But then you'll get those like every 2 minutes. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But then I was watching Some More News the other day, which if you guys haven't watched Some More News, the host has like really strong Mike Fallick energy.
Okay,
so that's one of the reasons I like it so much. It's like watching Mike Fallick do Last Week Tonight.
Okay.
There was like one where it was like, it cut to the commercial break and it was like an unskippable commercial, but it was like 20 seconds long. And I was like, that's fine. Like,
yeah,
that's actually kind of perfect.
Not bad. Yeah.
So that's my thing with ads is like, just like pick your spots and like, try to make them either unobtrusive. Or, I mean, they have to be somewhat obtrusive so that you see them.
Yeah. You have to. Yeah. You have
to find a better way to integrate them and whatnot. And also, it helps when it's something that you actually give a damn about. I think it's funny when
I will say whatever algorithm that I'm using to generate my own ads is sometimes working, and it kind of pisses me off every now and then that it works so well, because for whatever reason it is constantly trying to sell me hats, and it's always hats I haven't seen yet, and I'm like, where were these hats when I was looking at hats? These are nice hats. I would have bought these hats. Hold on, let me fucking stop everything and look at these hats. And then I'll go, I don't like this hat as much as I thought I did. But damn it, I kind of want to buy this hat. And then it's a whole thing.
Dude!
Yeah, it's me.
You with the hat.
Me with the hat.
Resent thee. I have been on a quest for hats for 3 long days now, and I have yet to acquire said hat. I'm envious.
Doesn't thou have money?
No, I've spent it all and gambled away my fortunes over and over again.
Accept my trade request.
Claw!
May thine receive luck and get a hat.
Duh! No!
I get weird shit, man. I get like really long ads for water purifiers.
Yeah, why not?
Like 5-minute long ads for water purifiers, and it's like, glad I can skip this because holy shit. That's funny too when you watch like a really long YouTube video where it's like it'll just break in with like a 2-hour long ad.
Oh yeah. The weirdest one I've gotten recently has been this fucking chef knife, but it got made in Japan and it looks like a Viking sword, and that's really cool, but it's like a fucking there's 2 versions of it. There's one where a guy actually is doing the ad, right? And then there's the other version which is clearly an AI reading the ad. And I'm like, why even put why have 2 versions? Just play the one. It's fine.
Yeah.
That shit is nuts.
So that's Fandom.
That's
who
Fandom.
currently
who bought-
owns Giant Bomb.
who currently owns Giant Bomb. Yes.
They got it in their heads that Giant Bomb needed to be more family friendly and like PG-13 to protect the brand. And it's like, there's probably, because I think they bought GameSpot at the same time, so they probably wanted GameSpot, and Giant Bomb just came along for the ride.
Right.
But it's like, know what it is that you're buying.
Yeah.
And you know, lean into it.
Right.
I remember like back under Red Venture when they fired Jason
A Striker?
and yes,
Yeah, okay.
A Striker and Voidburger.
Right.
Jess. And I was like, wait, so you're telling me that a video game website that primarily deals in video just let go their two of their video producers?
Mhm. Yeah.
Now they only have one video producer who's also like the host of like a lot of the shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
He can just do everything. It's fine.
Yeah. And I think that's when I really knew that shit was fucked for them.
No, it was on a downhill swing for a while.
Yeah, and it has been for a while.
Oh,
I mean, you know, I not to take anything away from the people who have been there, but for me, Giant Bomb was 100% about the personalities.
Yeah.
And those personalities have long been gone.
Right.
One of them died almost a decade ago.
Right.
Or no, a decade ago.
Yeah.
Now. And then 3 of the core left years ago, and then they fired the person who founded the goddamn thing.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, at that point, it's like a Ship of Theseus thing where it's like, this is no longer like the same thing. Like, not, and again, you know, Jano Cho is great. It was bringing Dan Reichert back was a good idea.
Jeff Grubb was a great addition. I thought I really liked listening to him. So yeah,
Mike Minotti, even though he's not like
he was not
official,
actually he was highly entertaining.
Yes,
every time. So
he was just a contributor. Like he didn't actually work for Giant Bomb, but he was on like damn near all of their content.
Yeah,
at the end. Giant Bomb is technically still around.
Yes,
but a word. What happened was, after they got this like decree that they had to like clean it up, they released the Bombcast, and it was kind of just like a couple hours of them like making fun of the concept of them being PG-13 of all places, which then Fandom took the Bombcast down, which is like, some of our listeners are Giant Bomb fans, not a lot of them.
Yeah.
But what you need to know about Giant Bomb is that there has always been a Giant Bombcast every fucking week. Even the week that Ryan Davis died, they released a Bombcast. They have never missed a week. In, you know, since 2007 or whatever.
Yeah. And
technically they didn't miss last week either, but it got taken down, and then there wasn't a Bombcast this week because who knows what's even left.
Yeah.
And there hasn't been like a lot of official stuff. Jeff Grubb announced that he no longer has a job. It's not clear if he left or if he got fired.
Right.
Dan Reichert apparently had said on Fire Escape that he was done.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't going to be on any more Giant Bomb stuff.
Right.
And then Mike Minotti said that he wouldn't be contributing to Giant Bomb anymore because of the way that everybody had been treated. That's about all we know.
Yep. That's about it.
But there hasn't been anything since that episode was taken down. And Mum from Jan or Jeff Bakalar or whatnot. It's really sad because even if I haven't really engaged with Giant Bomb in a long time, the way that site should have gone out was like a final unprofessional Friday where like everybody's here, right?
Yeah,
like,
that
even
would be
Jeff,
nice. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
all of Nextlander, Jeff, Drew, everybody who's been like a major player in Giant Bomb, like should have been able to come back for one last hurrah.
Right.
And
I agree.
It really does remind me of when EGM got taken down.
Yeah.
Because they had an issue ready to go that month.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was going to be the street. Actually, it's funny. So I've talked about it on the show a couple times, but I backed the EGM Compendium, which is this big like historic book about the history of EGM. But one of the stretch goals that I added to my thing after the fact, because I wasn't aware of it when I pledged originally.
Yeah.
They are printing the final issue of EGM.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And they're adding a bunch of stuff to it. And so I'm getting a physical copy of that. Like,
that's neat. Yeah.
lost issue. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
going to be really cool.
That's cool. Yeah, that's really
I think
cool.
it's like their Street Fighter 4 preview.
Yeah, that would have been around. Yeah, that's probably been around that time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2009.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Shit like this I find interesting. And a lot of it is just, you know, a lot of what we've talked about, you know, on this show and also like Nerds Without Pants. Like, I'm cognizant of a lot of it is just like, it's capitalism and it's the way that we have chosen to express capitalism, which is because it's also like a weird twisted version of it where because it, you know, it was always supposed to be like, oh, well, the free market will decide blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, but the free market has been completely rigged for like our entire like lifetimes.
Yeah.
So there's not really competition because any true competition gets squashed before it can even really rise up.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about like just like the state of media and stuff like that. And like, you know, you have a lot of like billionaires and whatnot who they really like to get into media, but like they still are doing it because it either gives them they want to make money off of it or they want to have more power or both. Like, you know, Jeff Bezos famously owns like the Washington Post, right? I would be totally fine with that if he was just like, no, I think it's important that we have like a free and open press. Sure. And I want to make sure they keep their doors open. And it doesn't really matter if they're profitable or not. Like, this is just a thing that I'm funding because I can afford it.
Right.
But that's not how it is. It's like, no, I want to put my voice and my values, cram it into the voices of these people and, you know, squash any bad news about
that's a
shit.
lot of media. Yeah. A lot of news.
And I don't get billionaires, man. Like, if I was a billionaire, Justin, like, I would fund the weirdest shit.
Yeah, right.
And not expecting a return, just to be like, no, I want this thing to exist, and I have the ability to make it exist,
right?
Or have it continue to exist.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, but billionaires are weird. They're just weird. There
are studies that say like once you get to a certain like monetary threshold, like it changes your brain chemistry.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, because you can kind of do whatever, and then it's like, okay, it's not about, you know, getting more money at this point. It's just about what else can I do? Because like the high goes away, I'm sure. You know, it's almost like being addicted to something. You know, you're addicted to you know, growing this number, and then when the number is so big that it doesn't matter anymore, well, then what? I don't know. I guess I'll get into politics. Fuck it. All right, cool, great. Yeah. Let's fuck everything up while we're there. Media's weird.
Media's weird, and Giant Bomb is a big blow for me because again, even if it's not the people that were there, and I've got Nextlander, I listen to him every week, and I've got Jeff Gerstmann's show too, but as I've said, like that dude needs someone to play off of.
I agree. I do agree. I will say, listening to him tell his side of like kind of the history of that stuff was pretty interesting, I thought.
Yeah,
which he came out and did.
He came out with some really interesting stuff on this week's episode, or I guess last week's episode. If you're listening to this episode of the Jeff Gerstmann show, but then also like there was some stuff that came out just like online where like apparently like the staff of Giant Bomb had not seen any of the revenue from the memberships for years.
I believe that. Yeah.
Which is like super fucked up because say what you will about Jeff Gerstmann. He's kind of always been a visionary with this stuff.
Yeah.
They pivoted to video at a time when video was not really a thing.
Right.
And they pivoted to long form video when that super wasn't a thing.
Right.
And then they were like the first people to do like a subscription thing before Patreon was even really established or anything like that.
They were kind of ahead of the curve on a lot of that stuff, almost detrimentally to some degree, right? Because like it was like, hey, nobody else is doing this, and then suddenly everybody else was doing that, and it is weird.
Yeah, and I think Jeff was always like really good about. Because you could definitely see a scenario where him being like one of the elder statesmen of video games media, he could just kind of like dig in and say like, no, we're going to do it this way.
Right.
This is how it's always been done. It's like, he's always been really good about being fluid and pivoting.
He's always kind of been able to see like, no, it's moving in this direction. We should go that way.
Yeah.
Even if it's not fully there yet, that's probably where it's going to end up at, you know?
Yeah. And who knows what would have happened if the pandemic hadn't happened? That fucked over so many different avenues of media and art and, like companies and stuff like that.
Right.
Like there's probably a scenario where if the pandemic didn't happen, CBS didn't sell Giant Bomb and everybody's still there and it's still as awesome now as it
Very
was
possible,
in 2019. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's just a real shame to see it like go out like this with like no like final anything.
It's sad, but I always like even without listening to Gerstmann talk about it, it didn't surprise me. It was just because like how it started to get like almost tossed around like with this other stuff. Because Gerstmann said it best, is like if you're coming in from the outside and you're looking at this thing that you just bought, your immediate reaction is, why is there two of these? Why do we have two of these? Like we have GameSpot and we have this thing. And it's like, this thing's kind of its own little entity over here and it's doing its thing. And it can be a totally different thing, but you have to, let it do what it wants to do. But why are there two of these though? Like that's, and sadly it's a good point,
No, it is. And I think we lost a lot with the pandemic where once they were no longer in a studio or studios anymore, you lost a lot of that energy and you lost a lot of the opportunity to do really dumb shit together.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You can watch like Brad or Jeff like fool around with a VR headset on a stream, but it doesn't have the same impact as when Jeff is just flailing his arms off to the side in a VR headset and everybody else is on the couch just watching him flail around like an idiot and they're just laughing their asses off. Right. Like you just lose that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It loses its luster.
The E3 stuff, right? Like I know they've done it like the last like couple years, but it just doesn't have the same oomph. I think also because like when Jeff went, there was definitely like a bit of like a who gets the kids type of thing, right? So there's like certain people that you didn't see really interact with Giant Bomb anymore that were like, because I don't think that like I could be wrong about this. If anybody knows, you can feel free to correct me. But like, having the Atom Boys, John Vignacchi, and I'm forgetting the big guy's name. Like those three on the couch.
I know who you're talking about. Fuck, I can't remember. He's the game developer now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. What is his name?
Now I forgot the company too. The ones that did Killer Instinct and Dive Kick.
Yeah, they did that. They did oh god, they did the fuck. Hold on.
I can't believe I've forgotten his name.
Is
John Vignacchi is usually the one I have trouble
Dave
remembering.
Something.
Dave Lang.
I knew it was Dave. I was like, it's Dave, but I can't remember his last name.
Like not having that trio like on the couch is like a huge loss.
Right. Yeah.
And not having Phil Spencer, for like a solid hour.
Yeah, like the amount of people and stuff that they would like randomly bring together from that E3 stuff was really, really always kind of fun. Like, and sometimes you would hear people that you never heard before, and like sometimes it was like, hey, we got randomly Kenny Omega and Xavier Woods here, but they can't interact with each other, so we'll just play off of it. That shit's great. Like they really owned it. But you can't really do that if you aren't actually there. But I mean, there is no there because of the pandemic. So that's a whole thing.
You can't have Mario Party. It doesn't hit the same way when they're not all on the couch and just Dan just being as happy as a clam and everybody else just wanting to die.
Right. Oh yeah. That's my experience playing Mario Party. So
that's everybody's experience playing. There's only ever one person in a game of Mario Party that's having a good time.
That's true. Yeah. But just watching, like I just remember because I stuck with it for a little while, probably longer than Julian did. And I remember just like, hey, we're owned by these people, and every time they would be sold, it would be like, but we promise nothing's gonna change, and it's only gonna get better. We've been talking to the people, and it's going great. And I'm like, I don't believe that shit, man. Yeah. I don't believe it. But we'll roll with whatever you say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for my part, and I think this is kind of just a matter of the people there. It's like, when I pieced out, it was when I was listening to Game of the Year, and I was like, I've finished more games than anybody on this Game of the Year panel.
There's a lot of that sometimes when it comes to that aspect.
And I loved it when they would go off tangent, like, because I was looking at like the feed last week, like the recent feed, and I was like, holy shit, we've been clocking in beefier episodes in the Bombcast for a while now.
I believe that.
Because like my thing was like the show used to be like 4.5 hours long.
Right.
And like it would be like a good hour and a half before a single video game was mentioned.
Yes.
But you didn't care because the shit was hilarious.
It was so fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my favorite part of everything. Yeah.
But then they would talk really deep about video games for a couple hours before the news. And what it had become was like, we're going to talk about games for like about 2 minutes each, and then we're going to talk about the news and get the fuck out of here.
There was so many times where it was like, hey, I played this game and it's pretty cool. All right, moving on. And it's like, whoa, okay, all right, I guess. Sure, why not?
And some people prefer that. I've seen people where they're like, no, I just care about the news. I don't care about hearing what people play. And I'm like, that's completely backwards for me. I don't give a shit about hearing about news.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, news you can read. Like if you know what I mean? Like you can, it'll pop up on my Google front page. Like, oh, this thing happened, or a fucking Reddit post. And I go, okay, yes, so that thing happened. Got it. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Like, and yeah, people's opinions on it are sometimes very interesting. Don't get me wrong. Like there's value in that, but at the same time, like I want to hear people, differing opinions on a thing that I'm maybe interested in buying or haven't heard of before. That was always the parts. That was always the parts for me where like there was a lot of games that I would hear somebody talk about on a podcast and be like, oh, I've never even heard of this game. This sounds right up my alley. This sounds really cool. Let me check this out. And but you didn't get that as much, because like them playing the game and then talking about it for, a very short period of time just ended up in being like, okay, I guess that exists, but I don't.
And even Jeff can fall into that pretty easily, where there's a lot of times I'll listen to his show and it's like, you spent like 20 minutes you spent longer talking about like what your kid did last week than you did about what you played. And then we just rolled into the news.
Right.
And I like to hear about video games, man. Like I like the other stuff too, but like I like hearing about video games.
To be fair, every now and then, sometimes I find it hard to talk about a video game I haven't finished every now and then, where I'm just like, but I don't know how this is going to end, and I might end up hating it. So let me, like, I get hesitant to, but I like, first impression is important, but it's tough sometimes. I don't know. Everybody's a little different on some of that stuff. Especially sometimes when you're on a podcast, you're not even really you're not conscious of how much time you're taking on a certain thing, I guess, every now and then. But but anyway, Giant Bomb, I guess, rest in peace if that's the case. But or they're gonna come back. If they come back as the PG.
It would be really funny if they just all got back together and pulled another giant bomb.
That'd be really fun. Yeah,
because that's literally what the original was. Jeff got let go, and he was like, "Well, I guess I'll do my own thing." And then not that long after that, Ryan Davis came and said, "Hey, I'll join you for that thing."
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Okay, bet." And then Vinny and Brad were like, "Hey,
right,
we want in on that too." And then the true Bombcast the true Giant Bomb was formed.
Right.
And it was them for a really long time.
Right.
But yeah. I hope that's one thing I'm real like. I hope that they don't start like taking down like archive stuff.
Yeah, I doubt it. But then if they move in that direction, though, that could be a thing. Yeah. I personally, bet money. Well, I won't bet money, but my thought is they'll probably, because Gersman suggested this, and I kind of agree. Where he's just like, why I don't know why they never pulled the trigger on just merging it with GameSpot at this point. Mm-hmm. Like, just, hey, those people over there, they're just over here now, and it's just one entity. It just kind of makes more sense. Then you don't get the middle management thing going, why are there two of these? This one doesn't seem to pull in as much money. What are we doing with this? just make it one thing. Then I even have more control over it, I guess, but to some degree. It's kind of depressing, but, it is what it is.
And I do have to say that, like, because, I think they could put together like a Patreon model like Nextlander and do gangbusters. But, like, some of the shit that they came up with, like, after everybody was gone is, like, I fucking hate this. Like, did you ever see... what was it, Forking Friday or whatever?
Oh, I hated that. Yeah, I was not a big fan. It was the
worst, dude.
Yeah, it wasn't that. In their defense, I guess, Friday Night Forking or whatever the hell it was. Yeah. They, in their defense, they didn't really have to do anything for it. They just put it on their site, basically, or their host their.
Oh, I thought it was like they put that together and they got that dude to host.
That was all one dude. They just liked that guy and what he did, and so they just basically made it. And to be fair, like it is impressive what the guy is able to pull off as just one dude and a bunch of hotkeys. I will grant that. Yeah. Absolutely grant that. I will take nothing away. It was super not my thing. I watched it for about 10 minutes. Was like, nah, I'm good, man. But yeah, like so to be fair, that almost like was nothing to them. We like this guy. We'll just put it on here. It's easy content, no problem. I get it. That's fine. But yeah, it's super not my thing. I there was a lot of stuff that I really liked though. They were doing almost what we do with our Patreon with the Suffer Select, where they were just going through bad games, and some of that shit was fucking great.
Yeah, especially with like the dumb costumes.
Oh yeah. It kept upping the ante as it was going. That was really fun. A lot of that stuff. So I can't take it away from them on that. But it feels like it's missing something when they're not all in the same spot, and
For sure.
They were never going to get that again because
everybody moved.
Well, yeah, everybody moved to their own spot, and even if they wanted to bring it together, if you present that as like, no, I want to get everybody together in one studio, and you present that to the money man, they're going to go, but why?
Everybody streams now from wherever.
We're not doing that. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but no, we're not doing that. So keep doing this.
HoloLive understands the importance of having like an actual studio to use once in a while.
Yeah.
Apparently, like that's a part of like Cover Corp, like the actual like the corporation that owns HoloLive is they're a tech company. Okay. So apparently, like when the HoloLive talent goes into the main office to record shit, it's like the top of the line, like 3D tracking and motion capture.
I mean, that
stuff.
Makes sense. Yeah, that does check out. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, sad to hear about Giant Bomb.
Yeah, it's sad, but
I think for you and me, it's almost like it's done now.
Yeah,
okay.
The writing's been on the wall for a while. So, yeah.
And if anything, it makes me feel even better that we have taken the Game of the Year torch and we will continue to run with it.
Yep. Yeah.
As far as that classic format, because now it's really done.
Yeah.
So
seems that way.
Yeah. Hey, Julian here from the editing bay. So the news came out over the weekend that I'm editing this episode from PAX that Jeff Grubb, Jeff Bacalar, Dan Reichert, and Jan Ochoa purchased Giant Bomb from Fandom and are now completely independent. Along with Mike Mignotti. So Giant Bomb continues, and now they're independent, and it's a whole thing, which totally made this episode age like milk. It's one of the it's why I hate covering news because of stuff like this. I'm sure we'll talk about it some on next week's episode, but I just had to throw this in so that at least I could salvage a little bit of that because if you feel like you just wasted your time, so do I. But yeah, I think that's all I've got as far as like talking points or whatnot, unless you have anything else.
No, not really. Nope.
All right.
I got dick all this week. It's a short week for me.
Well, thankfully, we have listeners to provide us with shit to talk about.
That's good.
In the way of comments, questions, and concerns, or CQC. As always, there's a lot of ways to get at us. You can email us. The email address is thestageselectpod@gmail.com. You can comment on the show posts on Patreon or YouTube, or you can join our Discord, and there's a channel in the Discord for comments, questions, and concerns, which is where these come from. Starting with 60X Self, who asks, boys, what other games have sold you on purchasing a console in the past?
Other games?
I think just games.
Oh, games. Okay. I was
what were some system sellers for you?
Oh, system sellers for me. Oblivion. Oblivion was definitely one. I needed to play Oblivion. Actually, a lot of these are probably Elder Scrolls games because I bought an Xbox because I wanted to play Morrowind. Not gonna lie about it. There was something else that I bought an Xbox for, though. There was like some other game that I was like, no, it wasn't Halo. Because like I loved Halo, but like it was one of those things where I was like, but I'm not gonna play this when I'm by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I have to think about that.
Otogi.
No, it wasn't Otogi. I'm sorry.
Breakdown.
No, it wasn't Breakdown.
Oh, you weren't a cool Xbox player.
No, I was not. Very much was not. I'm trying. I'll think of it. Maybe if I don't. But then again, if I'm being honest, probably the biggest thing that sold it to me was like, oh yeah, you can just mod this, and I'm like, oh well, cool, fucking get all the games then, because I'm a scumbag in my 20s.
So you bought it. You probably got the original Xbox kind of deep-ish into that cycle, huh?
Pretty deep in, but I hung out with a bunch of people who had them like all the time. So and their big selling point was Halo for sure. That was the game. Let's see what else sold me. I think I bought a Super Nintendo or wanted a Super Nintendo and practically begged for a Super Nintendo because I wanted Street Fighter 2 Turbo Edition.
Good reason.
Yeah, because I really liked Street Fighter, and I was like, and I remember reading in a magazine, I don't remember exactly which one, it was like, oh, the good one's gonna come out for this is Super Nintendo. I was like, well, I need to get a Super Nintendo now. PlayStation, I think I bought because I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy VII, but I had already played it at that point. And no, it wouldn't have been why did I? No, I played all my friends' games, and I was like, well, all the good stuff comes out for here. I think I bought it, and the game that I wanted to own the most that they didn't have was Final Fantasy Tactics. So maybe that. PlayStation 2 I just bought on release. So yeah. Or well, not on release because like it was like hard to find for a while, but like as soon as it like kind of got a little bit better in stock, but not too long after release, put it like that. I had money saved to buy a PlayStation 2 and was buying a PlayStation 2. I think that's about it, really. Yeah.
It's just surprised Nolan that Final Fantasy has been a factor for me for a lot of consoles. So PS1, like when I heard Final Fantasy was coming to PlayStation, that like I got that, even though I got it before, like long before the game came out, but I was just like, no, it's coming here. I want this. PlayStation 2 was actually Metal Gear Solid 2.
Okay.
Specifically the demo for it.
Right.
I bought my PS2 right around the time that Zone of the Enders came out.
Right.
Which came with a demo for Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah.
But also I knew that Final Fantasy was going to be coming out on there as well. Yeah. But yeah, PlayStation 3 was Final Fantasy 13. PlayStation 4 was 15. PlayStation 5 was 16.
Yeah. I remember that.
Because those were all announced
recent
like
history,
at like either right at or right before, or like right at the system announcements or right after the system announcements.
Right.
360, it was Oblivion. Like that's what sold me on switching over to Xbox.
Yep.
Super Nintendo was just I wanted a Super Nintendo.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted one in the worst way, but the thing that like made me need to get it was Street Fighter Turbo. So
yeah, it's probably mostly it because like my Xbox One was a depression purchase. Like
sure.
I just did that.
You'll have that.
And then the Series X was just I need it.
I'm just gonna get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it really wasn't. I mean, yeah, that's been their problem for like this whole generation is they haven't had a lot exclusive or even first party until just recently, right?
Yeah.
So like, Hellblade 2, like the announcement of that was the thing that was like, oh shit. But then, ultimately,
is it fair to say Mario 64 sold you on an N64?
Oh, 1000%.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that was the first console that I bought at launch.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like ever.
Yeah.
Well, I got my dad to charge it. And
I
then I paid
think,
him back.
admittedly, for when it comes to an N64 for me, it might have been the fact that Zelda was coming out for it, because I remember seeing it and it was people were like going nuts for it. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll get that instead of the PlayStation. Big mistake. But and then I played it. I was like, this is cool, but I don't really like it as much as the other thing. But 100% that game probably did sell me on that. Now that I think about it,
I think I just bought my Wii because I saw it was there.
Yeah,
and like at that point there were enough games that I was interested in checking out. Wii U was a depression purchase.
Yeah, I didn't buy a lot of Nintendo consoles outside of the handhelds because of the N64 debacle. Like I felt very let down by
you've been a lot smarter than me because I bought them all and I've been disappointed in them all.
I mean, I will say this: the one thing that if I liked horror games more, like I would have been really, really interested in playing the Resident Evil remake basically on GameCube, because I remember looking at that game at the time and being like, "Holy shit, that looks good."
Oh, Rogue Squadron 2 was the GameCube system seller for me.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Hopefully that answers that question.
Yeah, I think we covered it.
Excellent.
Switch was also like it I don't think that was a depression purchase. It was a holy shit. There's a Switch.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
And Fire Emblem was coming.
Yeah,
it was like
Fire
the
Emblem.
1-2. I was like, oh, there's actually something that I'm excited about for this thing. And also, holy shit, there's a Switch on
the Fire Emblem series. Made me buy a 3DS for sure, because I hadn't played those yet, and I was like, I really want to, so I'll buy them, and did the whole thing. Yeah.
Xavier says, if you could take any non-fighting game video game character and make them a DLC video game character in Street Fighter 6, who would it be and how would they play?
Ooh, non-fighting game. Interesting. For Street Fighter. That's interesting, because like...
Actually, I don't know. Let me know if you think that this is cheating, Justin.
Okay.
Because it's something that I've wanted forever. I want... I think it's Blaylock from Saturday Night Slam Masters in Street Fighter, because I've always wanted to have like an official Slam Masters character.
It'd be great. I agree with you. Yeah, 100%. That'd be really cool. I'm more of a Biff Slammartino man, but
sure. It's just that he's related to Guile, so
I know, 100%. Yeah, you and I might be the only two people that know fucking Saturday Night Slam Masters lore. God, I loved that game.
It's so good. I want more.
It's super fun. Yeah,
you could do some cool shit right now with Saturday Night Slam Masters.
I think you can still buy it. Like it's on one of those like Capcom arcade things. You can buy it, which is it's cool that you can buy that game. But I would love a new Saturday Night Slam Masters. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
That's never gonna happen.
If anybody could do like a modern day like arcade wrestling game that's not WWE branded, it's Capcom.
Yeah, and I'd be into that. That would be fun. I'd be way into that.
When you throw the Street Fighter 6 create mode in there, oh shit,
that'd be real. Oh, that'd be even. Yeah, now we're talking. Yeah, I didn't even know I wanted that game, but here we are.
But if that's like too close to a fighting game,
it's a little close. But yeah,
I would like to put either Axel or Blaze or both from Streets of Rage.
Okay.
In
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. That could work for sure.
Because then you also get like a de facto Final Fight and Streets of Rage crossover. It's like a 2-for-1.
Yeah. The only in the Street Fighter universe is kind of complicated in this aspect, because the only problem is now we have to find a place to put what is the city's name in Streets of Rage? I forget now. But it has
Streets of Rage?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But that place has to be a real location in the Street Fighter universe now, because like they have their own like canon sort of.
Yeah.
Let's see, because like
they could just be visiting Metro City though. It's fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah, no, it's probably fine. Let me think here. If we're doing if I could do the Capcom route, man, who would be interesting for Street Fighter? I feel like you'd want to do somebody like not that popular, or popular enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
God, this is hard, actually.
My thing is that I don't want it to be too fantastical, right?
Yeah,
like I don't want
right.
like a monster or like a, you know what I mean?
I mean, people do have psychic powers in the Street Fighter universe, though. So
yeah,
it can
but like
be
I wouldn't want
wild.
like Firebrand from like Gargoyle's Quest, even though he's been in one of the Versus games.
No, it has to be grounded in reality to some degree.
Yeah.
Man, this is a hard fucking question, actually. I am really blanking on it. I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to think of fucking games I like now. Hold on, let me go through my fucking Steam list here. Let's really get fucking wild.
The manager from Tennis Angels EX.
No, Molester needs to stay far the fuck away from everything, Julian. I am not okay with that. That is not good. Oh, I mean, on a similar tip to yours, it would be neat if you could get like the River City Ransom guys in there or something.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty neat.
Yeah.
I would be kind of into that idea. Because it's got to be grounded in reality. Yeah, that one totally works. I mean, you definitely could do Double Dragon as well, but that's kind of been done. Man, yeah, this is a tough question. I like it though.
It kind of is, yeah.
I almost want to. We should come back to this another time when I've had. Probably won't, but who am I kidding?
Yeah, because like I'm thinking of like, ooh, like Gilius Thunderhead from Golden Axe. Like, no, that's too crazy.
That's
I was thinking
crazy.
like Dante.
Yeah, because
like, that's too crazy.
If it was like Soul Calibur, right? You can go nuts with Soul Calibur because they've already established portals and shit in Soul Calibur. So go wild. Like The Witcher's showing up, fucking 2B's showing up. But like Tekken even has a little bit of fucking leeway on some of that stuff where it's just like you can kind of get nuts with that shit as long as it's, within a certain frame. But Street Fighter is kind of interesting because like you can't go like too fantastical. It kind of has to be grounded in reality. Yeah, it makes it really kind of hard.
Yeah,
but in an interesting way.
Unless we're talking about like a hypothetical like Capcom versus Capcom game, that's where you get crazy.
I got it. Fucking Agent 47 in Street Fighter. Let's do it. It'll be great. Actually, that would be fucking great. You think of all the costumes you could have for him.
Yeah,
he like. There have been guys with like you can do a lot of like piano wire stuff and like just dumb stuff. Like he doesn't have a gun, obviously, but like he's definitely been in some fighting scenarios. He can hand to hand a motherfucker.
Yeah, and he's throwing like expired like tomato cans.
Yeah, he's just throwing fucking like watermelons at people and shit, and it's great. I'm in. Let's fucking do it.
I could see
Why
that.
not? I just random game off of my Steam list, and I was like, actually, that would work. Kind of. It's kind of grounded. It's just grounded enough to where I think it could work.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and take a couple of these other Xavier questions.
Might as well.
We did. I mean, we've hit the mark, but still,
it's fine.
Obviously, it changes depending on the writer and even the medium. But who is your favorite X-Men character if you had to pick just one?
Julian probably has a lot more opinions on this than I do. So I'm trying to think of let's see, my favorite X-Men character.
Regardless, it could be from the cartoon or from a video game.
I definitely my admitted favorite has always been Rogue. I just think she's cool.
She is,
and I always liked her kind of thing where like she cannot touch people, and if she is touching someone, it's because bad stuff's gonna happen. At least in the stuff, the cartoon and stuff like that. I remember that being a thing. I'm sure it's kind of a thing. But I always found that interesting, I wish I could do this, but I can't, and it's a huge curse, but I'm also, extremely powerful because of this, but it sucks. I don't know. She's always been cool, and I like her. I like her vibe too. And also, nice leather jacket. Just gonna throw it out there,
Yeah. For me, if I can erase all of the terrorist bullshit that Brian Michael Bendis introduced to the character that they've kind of stuck with since.
Yeah.
It's Cyclops.
Okay.
I think he's one of the best leaders in Marvel Comics.
Sure.
I think he's a good rock solid character that, he is kind of overly serious and kind of a stick in the mud, but he kind of has to be considering all the people that are around him.
Right. Yeah.
That he has to kind of keep focused and working as a team, especially when you have the classic version of Wolverine, which is the I don't want to be here, but I kind of like you guys thing instead of being the main character. I really appreciate that. I have since learned, as I've been reading old X-Men, that Louise Simonson did a lot of damage to him in X Factor, where she just wrote him just the whiniest brat. In a way that I was like, oh, I thought that it wasn't until way later that they really fucked his character up. She at least did a good amount of damage for a while, but by the time I started reading in the 90s, he was back to being just a rock solid dude.
Right.
Colossus might be a
close
runner up now that I've been reading the older stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's a rolling nice, gentle giantness to him that I wasn't aware of.
Sure.
Because he wasn't really a mainstay in the book when I first started reading it. Because I was reading X-Men and he was in Uncanny X-Men.
Sure.
And I wasn't really reading a lot of that except for crossovers. So I hadn't had a lot of his backstory and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm a big fan of that giant size X-Men roster of Cyclops, Storm, Wolverine, Colossus, Nightcrawler.
Yeah, Nightcrawler's fun. That's
and then you can kind of play around with the sixth.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. And then Xavier says, I would like to add a variation on Casey's question. Who would win a fight between all of the humans employed at the stage select?
Okay, the key word here is employed.
Yes.
So there's only two, right?
I guess technically, yeah, because Morgan's not human.
3. Because we do have that detective.
We've got Richard Harden.
Yeah,
we've got Abramo.
Yeah, Abramo. Morgan's employed. He's
employed, but he's not human.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So 2 people.
I've never really wanted to. I've never been comfortable asking him what he actually is, but he ain't human.
Okay, well that's fair. Yeah, so two people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My money's on Richard because Abramo's just,
I mean,
he wouldn't hurt a fly.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. But I mean, at the same time, if you really get him worked up, I mean, that man walks everywhere, Julian.
He does walk everywhere.
Yeah.
His calves are insane.
I mean, if he kicked you, just straight kick, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah.
I just don't know if you could get him that mad. I don't know. I don't know if I want to see a mad Abramo.
I don't know if he's anything like my Uncle Randy. Apparently, he'll just beat the shit out of you out of nowhere. So who knows? Hard to say.
Dennis asks, Here's a good one, I think.
Okay.
What food do you think you would miss the most by relocating overseas for an extended time? Like a totally different culture and experience from home, so there is no chance you could get this food the whole time you were gone. What would you miss the most? And he says, I'll tell you mine, and as crazy as it sounds, it's Chick-fil-A. I used to work there as a teen, and I just love the food there. Cannot come close to it over here in Korea, although they have some hella good fried chicken. It's just different. Every time we go back for vacation, it's always on the list.
Sure.
That and Hooters. Oh, Dennis, you need to, there's better food out there, my man.
Yeah.
But wherever you go home to might not have Pluckers, because like here, like once they had Pluckers wings, that like it deleted Hooters from the roster.
Okay.
As far as wings go.
Okay. Is Pluckers also like Hooters in atmosphere, or
no?
Okay.
No, it's just a sports bar.
So much more comfortable to be there. Got it. Okay. not an American made bar. Got it. Understood.
Yeah.
I watched a TikTok video or something like that where it was Japanese people going to Hooters and penning it as an American made bar or a made restaurant or whatever that is.
Oh, MIAD or MAID. I was thinking
Yes.
American made.
No. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Like the made
Like a hostess bar.
made cafes. Yes,
Yeah.
like that they have in Japan. They're pinning it as, look at all these crazy things Americans do with their maid cafes. I was like, it kind of is right. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's not.
Man, so these are interesting types of videos that HoloLive does, where they always post them long after because reasons.
Right.
But sometimes they will do like in-person videos where you don't see any of them.
Yeah.
They're just like, it's like POV cameras and they're going to a thing.
Yeah.
And so like about 6 months after HoloLive Justice debuted, they showed a video of when they got together in Japan before the debut, and they were doing sightseeing stuff as like, you know, kind of team building experiences, and they went to a maid cafe, and I was like, I don't think I can do that.
Oh,
man.
no.
It's weird.
Yeah, no. I don't
know if
either.
Moi Moi Kyun is for me.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind. I would like to try a hostess club.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because like that seems like just like a lot less weird to me.
Yeah, it seems more I mean, at least the way the Like a Dragon series has, you know, presented it to us, Julian, it seems very, you know, just like, hey, go have a conversation and hang out and then get some drinks or whatever.
Which used to be how like me and like the game fellas we would go to Hooters. Like we would like, you know, they would come and just like kind of chit chat with us for a while and kind of hang out at the table.
Why not?
And I was like, oh, that's cool. Me and my cousin David used to have this thing of like, we wanted to take a picture together with the waitresses at like every Hooters in Texas. And
okay.
I mean, obviously we didn't get anywhere close, but I have quite a few pictures.
Well, there you go. Anyway, food that I would miss.
Have we stalled enough?
Yeah. Are we talking like it has to be a chain, or like
I don't
it could
think
be a
so.
local thing?
I think Dennis needs to raise his bar.
Okay, all right. That was just his bar. Okay, got it. That you could
like for me, it would be chicken fried steak.
Okay,
like if I couldn't get a chicken fried steak meal, that's also like I mean, you know, I don't know if you even have that up in your neck of the woods, but like that's a thing where it's like every now and then, like, you know, I need like a really good, especially for breakfast, I need a really good chicken fried steak.
Do they call
breakfast.
it chicken fried steak or country fried steak? Is it either
way?
I was gonna
chicken
say
fried steak is more common here, but country fried steak is
where
around.
I've heard it's always country fried.
Yeah,
but yeah, like they do have that around here. You just gotta go to the diners for the most part, and they'll have that stuff.
Probably Bob Evans, if Bob Evans is still
Bob
around.
Evans is still around, still alive and kicking.
Miss Bob Evans.
Yeah, it's still around. Yeah, I know. It was amazing when I moved out west and learned that people just have no fucking idea that Bob Evans is totally a thing.
We used to have a Bob Evans in Austin when I was a kid.
I believe it. But I remember living in Utah and my friend and talking to a friend of mine, and he was a very good friend of mine. His name was Kyler, and I worked with him, and I remember being like, I was like, yeah, we have a place, because I hadn't seen one. I was like, where's like the nearest Bob Evans around here? And he was like, what the fuck is Bob Evans? And I'm like, what do you mean? Is like, they don't have this. He's like, I've never heard of this. I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. I'm like, oh, okay. Well,
The Sizzler
Very
is
popular.
one that I also like associate with like the Ohio region because I haven't seen a Sizzler in I don't know how long.
I'm going to tell you right now. I don't. If there's a Sizzler around here, I have no fucking idea where it's at. But there was one in Utah. I remember going to it once. So yeah, there you go. No, for me, I love a good French fries. Like a good French fries, not like, yo, we froze these things and you fucking get them out of the pack and dump them in the fryer. No, I want like fucking fresh cut. We soaked this shit in fucking water or milk or whatever the fuck it is, and we deep fried it. There's a very specific place I'm thinking of. I mean, kind of like Five Guys, but yeah, like I love a fresh cut fucking French fry that's good, not what In-N-Out Burger fucking pawns off as fresh cut fries. That shit is garbage. No, we've
had the French fry discussion before, and I'm not a big fan. Like, I'll eat them because, like, you know, they typically come with, you know, any combo that you get. But if I can substitute, I'll fucking substitute. Like, when I go to Carl's Jr., like, they'll let you substitute the fried zucchini, and I'm all about that shit.
Yeah, or like an onion ring maybe sometimes, depending on what you're into.
And depending on the onion ring, because like I like a nice like thick onion ring. I don't like the real stringy onion ring.
Oh, see, here's the thing about me. I don't like onion rings very much, but I like Burger King's onion rings because they were just like, what if it was the onion ring but no onions? And I'm like, yeah, no. Now we're talking. Get rid of that.
There's onion in there.
Yeah, I know there is, but where? You don't know. You know I'm right.
No, yeah. Also, they've got like the tangy or the zesty sauce.
The zesty sauce, quite good.
Good shit.
Quite good. But no, like, you gotta have the good French fries. Like, not like there. I'm right there with you when it comes to fries because I'm like, yeah, a lot of them kind of like, yeah, whatever, fuck it. But like, no, good fucking French fries. I mean, like, actual fucking we stake our reputation on these fucking fries kind of French fries. That shit, I would miss that. I missed it when I moved out west because I was like, I can't find a place that makes them like that place does, and it bothers me.
Yeah, because Dennis lives in South Korea.
Yes,
and I know. David Portnoy just went to Japan on vacation. I'm wondering what the fries are like out there.
Yeah,
because it's like a thing that I wouldn't want to order if I went there because it's like I can get that at home. But you know, I am the type of like dirtbag who's like, but I gotta go to fast know. Like I gotta know. Yeah, you know, I gotta go to McDonald's once. Yeah, right. Like just to compare. Yeah, but like McDonald's fries, it's like, oh, I imagine they're all the same. Even if they're a little different, they're getting shipped in from a bag. No, I want you to cut a fucking potato, motherfucker. That's what I'm saying. Those are the fries we need. Yeah.
But yeah.
A motherfucker made out of potato. You want to cut that?
Sure. Why not?
Yeah. This is the final question that we have. So,
excellent.
Listeners, we're now caught up. So, let them rip for future episodes. But Casey asks, what controller do you think had the best and worst D-pad?
Oh, best D-pad.
When I read this earlier, I only saw worst, which I had locked in, but I hadn't thought about best.
What's the worst one?
The original Sega Saturn pad.
Yeah, that one was really bad. Now that I think about, you're right.
The redesigned Sega Saturn pad is one of the all-time best.
Yeah,
but the original Sega Saturn pad,
the original one was terrible.
Atrocious.
Yeah, no, it was like loose, like it. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because I have to agree. I'm 100% in agreement on that. Best though is kind of tough.
People are gonna flip their shit when I say what I think it is.
I'm gonna guess you're gonna say the PlayStation 2.
Yep.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah. It's Super Nintendo is a close runner-up, but I never got Nintendo Thumb on a PlayStation 2 D-pad.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, Nintendo Thumb very much a thing. I've never been super high on PlayStation D-pads.
I played a shit ton of Street Fighter on PS1 and 2.
I did too, and I remember always in the back of my mind, like I feel like I could do better with the D-pad. Well, then again, I don't know. Then I would go to Xbox, and theirs fucking sucked. for a long time. They're still not like super great. It's a lot better than it was, but still not as precise as I would like it.
My Elite controller for Xbox is kind of falling apart, unfortunately, like the grips. But that D-pad is awesome, and the Xbox Series controller is slightly based off that one. I really like the Series D-pad.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's quite good.
I just haven't had I haven't been playing much that requires.
Yeah, as somebody who's played, it's not as good as I would like it to be. But then again, I don't think there's a D-pad in the world that's ever going to be quite to my like specific specifications for anything. So because I guess I'm just picky, and I don't even know what I'm comparing it to, because I'm constantly just like, if this was just better, I could do better. I might agree with you actually on the PlayStation 2. I'm not 100% sure though. I haven't really thought about it. I don't hate the PlayStation 1 because you're right. I played a lot of Street Fighter on that fucking thing.
Mm-hmm. Like when I first saw the PlayStation D-pad, I thought it was going to be terrible.
Yeah.
And then when I got my hands on it, I was like, oh no, this is great.
Yeah, it's not bad. Man. And Nintendo ones, I've never been super high on.
Really?
Yeah, I know a lot of people like those ones. I'm kind of hit or miss on them. I don't know. Super Nintendo is where I did cut my teeth on them, though.
Super Nintendo is one of my all-time favorite controllers. Just full stop.
I might have to go with Super Nintendo actually, because I learned how to quarter circle on a fucking Super Nintendo, and it always nothing really felt right since. So I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
No, that works. All right. Asked and answered. I think that's a show, Justin.
Yep. I think so. I think we did it.
Yes. I'm going to have to apologize to Clancy Burns because he has had the space rented out, but we just haven't.
Oh, right. Yeah. Julian, you can always come in afterwards and do it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
We might have to renegotiate the contract.
I'm sure it'll be fine. He can. There's time afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how it do.
It's fine.
But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this episode up.
Yep.
Where can people find you on that there internet, Justin?
Oh, you can find me on twitch.tv/TyronSwift. Hopefully I will have time to stream tomorrow. Last weekend I got talking to somebody and then just was like, no, I'm not going to do it tonight. But hopefully I will do it this weekend. But then again, I don't know, my Saturday is going to get kind of busy here coming up. So we'll see how this shit goes. Twitch.tv/TyronSwift and also at TyronSwiftTV on YouTube. That's usually where I actually have time to do something now.
I did see that you put up another video this week, which was cool.
I put up a little tutorial thing on weird tricks that people can do to make created wrestlers in WWE, because I feel like I'm decent at it and I know things and think of things that I don't think other people do. So
yeah, you'll be like, this is the way to fix this like clipping issue. And what you do is you put like this extra piece of gear like underneath this piece of gear. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah. You gotta, it's all about, a lot of it is all about thinking outside of the box and with stuff that you wouldn't think of. This one is all about how to use fucking real basic ass logos to hide just about everything. That's it.
You also have to think outside the bun.
You do have to think outside the bun, Julian. It's very important.
And live Moss.
Live Moss, yeah. I've been living Moss for a long time. Yeah. That was like 3 generations of fucking Taco Bell ads there. That's good.
It was.
Yeah.
Are you aware of the video game connection to Yo Quiero Taco Bell?
No.
The voice actor who played the Chihuahua it was Spyro the Dragon.
Oh, okay.
Carlos Alazraqui, who was also one of the leads in Reno 911.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I loved Reno 911. Now I'm trying to think of who they were.
He was the one he always had the glasses and the mustache.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. that Spyro, or the original Spyro anyway. I
Right.
think the first trilogy, and then I think after that he wasn't playing the character anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know why my brain works like that. But anyway, you can find me on Blue Sky. Just search for Julian Titus. I'm on there more and more lately. The show is on Twitter at Stage Select Pod. Thanks as always to the wonderful Megan McDuffie for our theme song and interstitial tracks. Thanks to friend of the show, John Gholson, for our, that's a thing that I forgot to say.
Oh, good.
I went to go see John Gholson's short film "Don't Buy the Liverwurst," which was part of a comedy film festival last weekend.
Awesome!
And he was there actually, which was cool because I wasn't expecting him to be there. I was just like, because it was like a 3-day thing, and I couldn't go until Sunday.
Yeah.
But he was there, and it was interesting as a block of short comedy films, because there was only one that I would say was actually really legit funny, and it was very much your humor.
Okay.
A lot of the lines I was like, I could totally hear Justin saying this shit.
Right.
It was pretty funny. John's though, and I told him this after, I told him, you're not going to believe me because you're well, you're my friend, you're supposed to say that, but I was like, his was the best acted
Okay.
of all of the stuff that was shown that day.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily the funniest short film,
Right.
because it was more of a dramedy, but he was just awesome in it. And
That's good.
It's
I believe
always proud to see friends doing cool shit.
I
And
believe it.
I guess also I said it in the Discord, but I'll try to get the link for the show notes, but if any listener is in the New York area around June, you can go to the Tribeca Film Festival and get a ticket to his movie Man Finds Tape. Which is debuting there. And I have it on good authority that it's probably something that you should do if you're able to do it.
Yeah.
Just trust me on that.
There you go.
I think it's going to be one of those things where it's holy shit, have you seen this horror movie that is kind of on the fringes, and then
Gotcha.
it's kind of gonna build some steam,
There
because
you go.
I think yeah, get in on the ground floor
There you go.
or something.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
Play the Megadeth bass line. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum.
sure.
It was on TV news. I don't know. Were they the ones that you heard it here for? No, I don't know. I don't think it was.
I don't know.
You didn't watch a lot of MTV news, did you, Julian? Kurt
I
Loder?
did, but yeah, I know. Yeah, I knew Kurt Loder.
The boom, ba-dum, boom, 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 ba-dum. That little thing, that was a Megadeth bass line.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep,
I just thought it was a thing. Okay.
I can't remember the exact song off the top of my head, but yeah, it was Megadeth. Hard as shit to play.
Kurt Loder always seemed like he was too old for that shit, even when he was young. It was awesome.
I can't remember. Somebody posted his age recently, and I was like, "Oh yeah, holy shit! He's older than I thought he was." Still somehow, yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's gonna do it for this episode of the Stage Select. I've been Julian Titus. He's been Justin Ham. We've been the Stage Select, signing off before Scoster starts.
That's good.
Goodbye.
Uh-huh.
The Stage Select is copyrighted and owned by Space Monkey Mafia Productions, specializing in independent podcasting. Please consider sharing the show with your friends and support us by joining our Patreon or donating to our coffee. Thank you, and good night.